Tonight's edition of WMY Athletics Thursday Night High School Football features a Class A South matchup between Williamsville South and South Park at the legendary All-High Stadium. South Park heads into Week 4 at 2-1, winning 2 straight since a season-opening loss to West Seneca West, and last week defeated Willys 64-35 thanks to an offensive explosion led by sophomore quarterback Noah Willoughby.
They did a good job, moving the ball on us in the first half. We made a couple adjustments in the second half and made a couple plays on defense. Offensively, things went really well for us all night. We scored 9 touchdowns, so things are moving in the right direction when those kind of things happen. And quarterback got in a groove, and our receivers, we have a lot of pretty good receivers that we can rotate around and get the football to a lot of different guys. And then kind of our X factor is that our running game is still pretty good even when we're in 10 personnel because we're good up front. And we started Noah as a sophomore who hadn't played a football game in 2 years. So he had to find his groove. He had to find his rhythm within the offense and his spot on the team. And he played well, but he made enough mistakes and us as a team, we made enough mistakes that West Seneca West capitalized, and we weren't able to overcome some of those.
Despite holding a 1-2 record so far this season, Williamsville South is expected to be a tough opponent for the Sparks. The Billies' offense kept pace with Jamestown in a 5-point loss Week 2 and put up 38 points in a Week 3 win over Amherst last Friday.
Yeah, I think Williamsville South, I think Coach Krasansky, they'll try to slow the game down a little bit. They'll run the ball. I think that's what we'll get from most teams that we're going to play against, that they're going to try to run the ball and hold the ball so that we don't have, we're not on offense. But, offensively for us, we're going to try to find the best matchups that we can find, and defensively, we're trying to hone into what other teams are doing so that we can make plays.
Last week's victory over Amherst, the first of the season for Williamsville South, certainly relieved some pressure and loosened the team up a bit. And with the regular season almost at its midway point and a few games under their belts now, head coach Craig Krasansky feels the Billies have made the necessary adjustments ahead of Thursday night's matchup.
I think it takes a couple weeks, or at least we did. It took us a couple weeks to put the right guys in the right spots. We were tinkering a little bit opening week. We got a little bit better Week 2 against Jamestown, and last week everybody was in the correct spots. I thought we played better defense last week. I thought we played better offense. So I think just having the guys knowing their abilities, knowing what they're good at, and putting them in the right spots.
While the Billies did play Jamestown, one of Section 6's best teams, close a couple of weeks ago, Williamsville South's record in the standings still reads 1-2. And in a tough A South division, every game matters, and Thursday night's contest could be an early must-win for a team that's looking to make consecutive playoff appearances.
When you lose 2 games in the league, regardless of when, it's a must game. We know that. South Park knows that. We don't want to go to 3 losses in the league because our chances of making the playoffs then won't be very good. Those teams collectively, Jamestown and Frontier are 5-1, and those are our 2 losses against 2 really good teams. South Park has won 2 games against 2 teams that are 0-3. And so it matters who you play. They're big, Jamestown and Frontier, they're physical. And so, they get you prepared for going forward into our league. So, I think it matters. And I just hope we've learned something from it and we've gotten better.
Good evening, Western New York High School sports fans. Welcome to WNYathletics.com for tonight's Thursday night high school football matchup. It is a Class A South Division matchup between South Park and Williamsville South. We are coming to you live from All-High Stadium in Main Street, in Amherst, in Buffalo, wherever we are. But either way, it's a big Thursday night matchup kicking off Week 4 tonight. As I said, 2 teams looking to make the playoffs out of Class A South. South Park coming in at 2-1. Williamsville South at 1-2. John Simon, Tom Prince on the call here for you tonight. And Tom, this one is actually a fast matchup between 2 teams that boast a lot of speed on both sides of the ball.
This is going to be a fun one to watch, right? These are 2 teams that have something to prove right here, and this is a game to prove it in.
So we'll pause for a moment for the national anthem and be right back for the start of the kickoff, or start of the game and opening kickoff between Will South and South Park. So there you have it. The anthem is finished. We're just moments away from opening kickoff here at All High between South Park and Williamsville South. As I said, divisional matchup tonight between these two teams. And it's a big one. This one of the toughest divisions in all of Section 6, whether from AA all the way down to D. That A South division has 8 tough teams, and these are 2 looking for a playoff spot. And they're both coming off of wins in Week 3. Williamsville South got their first win of the season over Amherst, 38-16. And South Park, right here at All High last week, had an offensive explosion against Williamsville East, dropping 64 in a 29-point victory over the Flames, Tom.
Yeah, listen, you could be right now talking about Will South has got something to prove here tonight, right? They're trying to knock off, get that first big win that they really want. Not win, big win that we're talking about against one of the top-tier teams in that Will South division, against one of the most electrifying offenses right now in Western New York, with the #1 quarterback statistically right now in Western New York with the yards that he's put up. I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a big one.
Yeah, Noah Willoughby, almost 800 passing yards over the last 2 weeks between South Park's victories over Williamsville East.
450 last week alone he put up with 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, 5 touchdowns last week against Will East, 5 touchdowns the week prior against Amherst as well, threw for 384 in that one. Really, since the West Seneca West game, which he didn't play that bad in, Coach Tom Delaney said earlier this week he threw for 3 touchdowns but also 3 interceptions, but he's bounced back, and now, as we said, 10 touchdowns, almost 800 yards over the last 2 weeks, over 1,100 already through 3 games this season. I mean, that's an incredible start for a sophomore.
And not only that, take out the first half of the West Seneca game. You go the second half of the West Seneca, where he ended up playing much better, to where he is now. He's just been electrifying. Again, like you said, he's a sophomore getting used to the offense. It was the first time he saw the offense from a varsity standpoint like that. He's there, he's ready to go, and he's putting up big numbers right now.
So you did mention, Tom, this is a big game for Williamsville South. Not only are they taking on the defending Section 6 Class A champions from a year ago in South Park, they, of course, knocked off Jamestown in that title game back in May, but their backs are a little bit against the wall right now. They're 1-2 to start the season. They had 2 tough games the first 2 weeks against Frontier and then Jamestown. So in order to kind of stay in the playoff hunt right now, they got to float and stay around 500 and even get back into the winning total tally on the side of things. So they want to avoid a 1-3 start here, and in order to do that, they have to beat South Park, as we said, one of the top teams here in Western New York. But the Sparks will kick off to Williamsville South to start this one. South Park in the all-black uniforms, the Billies in the visiting whites with the blue helmets. And that one is going to be kicked low and short, going to be bouncing out of bounds right past the Will South 40. So the Billies will get a great starting spot here. And this offense going to have to start strong. As we mentioned, the South Park team, they score in bunches, and Williamsville South going to have to keep pace with them here tonight.
Yeah, and both, like I said, you'll see both aren't afraid to run the ball. No doubt Will South is going to be led by their running back, Christian Dewar. He's already put up 286 yards with a 53 as his long one right now. He's got 3 touchdowns on the season. Watch out. He'll be right now the leader that you'll see on the offense.
Yeah, ran for 118 yards and 2 scores last week against Amherst in the Billies' first victory.
And then P.J. Tasca, the one under center, you'll see him throw. He's definitely not afraid to throw the ball either.
Yeah, first season as the starting quarterback for the senior Tasca. And he's going to hand it off to start here. And South able to get a couple yards on that one as Nathaniel Zachary takes that first touch.
And if you look at Zachary, actually 219 on the year, right, with Dewar 286, 30 carries for one, 34 in the other. Both are going to run the ball.
Yeah, Zachary was actually their leading rusher back in week 2 against Jamestown. Ran for 150 yards against the Red Raiders in that game. It was a 5-point loss for Will South. They lost 42-27. Game where they hung tight with Jamestown right until the end, and that was a game that head coach Craig Kurzanski said he feels definitely prepared the Billies for this big matchup against South Park here tonight. They're going to run it on 2nd and 6. Again, they go up the middle. This time it's Dewar, and he's able to move ahead for a couple more. That'll bring up 3rd and manageable.
So like you said, you do not want to come here and do a 3 and out, right? You want to make sure that you get that first down. You need that momentum. You need to make your statement. You need to start off quickly, especially when you play a game on the road.
And this South Park defense is certainly on a good run right now, Tom. They did give up 35 to Williamsville East last week, but that was all in the first half. It was 38-35 Sparks at the midway point. South Park shut out the Flames in the second half. So this defensive group right now for South Park definitely riding off high momentum with that shutout second half against Will East last Friday. So this will be 3rd and 4. Tasca drops back to throw this time. He's able to connect with his receiver. He's able to find Brad Evolt, senior receiver. That gets him into South Park territory and moves the chains for the Billies.
And that's that big first down, right, that we're talking about. We said they're not afraid to throw the ball. Definitely a team that can run and pass, exactly the same thing that we're going to see from South Park.
And they got off to a good start against Amherst last week, led 17-0 at halftime. And like you said, Tom, good balance of rush and pass with this team for Will South. They ran for 182 yards last week, threw for 113, had a pretty balanced attack against Jamestown as well. So this South Park defense going to have to stay on their toes. 1st and 10, they look to run it with Zachary again. He was jammed up the middle, looks to go to the outside. Maybe gets a few on that one, but we got a yellow flag tossed in the backfield.
And on that stop was Fulgham on the stop. We're going to be calling his name a lot for South Park too.
Yeah, Fulgham, their starting running back, had himself a big week as well last Friday against Will East. And this is going to be a penalty against Williamsville South. This will back them up about 15. So this is going to bring up 1st and 25 now. That penalty certainly helping the South Park defense, who, albeit we're given a short field to work with off the kickoff.
But was something they gave to him, right? It wasn't like it was, they had no problem with kicking that short.
So this will bring up 1st and 25 for Will South, as we said. Tasca's got 3 receivers to his right side at the bottom of your screen. And he'll drop back and look to throw to that right side. He's able to connect there with Graves. Graves almost gets back to the original line of scrimmage before he's met by a trio of Spark defenders.
Catch is made by number 10, Max Graves.
Graves so far this season on a pretty good year for the Billies. One of a number of receivers that they've got in their arsenal. So bring up 2nd and 12, so a 13-yard gain on that last play for Graves. Got 5 catches for 64 yards coming into the one. A little over 3 minutes gone by. Tasca takes the snap, looks to throw again, able to connect with Graves again. And he's in the middle of the field, and he's brought down for another nice gain. With 2 consecutive completions to Max Graves has Will South in decent 3rd down range. We'll need 6 to get a 1st down on this play.
3rd down and 6 for the Billies.
Will South's offense has been playing pretty well after scoring just 7 points the opening week against Frontier, a road loss to the Falcons. Scored 37 against Jamestown, 38 last week against Amherst. We expect another high-scoring affair tonight as we get ourselves our first timeout. Williamsville South's offense going to talk this thing over, make sure they don't waste this first drive. So head coach Craig Krasansky going to pull his squad in, as is Tim Delaney of South Park.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's take this time to give a shout out to our amazing
And that was just one of the things that we talked about in the week leading up to this game with Delaney and Craig Krasansky, both of them realizing how big of a game this is. While it is just the first possession in this game for both teams, it's very crucial. That A South division, so many talented teams. You look at the standings in it right now. Hamburg and Jamestown sitting atop the league at 3-0. South Park is in 3rd at 2-1 overall and 2-1 in the league. Frontier in 4th, Williamsville South in 5th, West Seneca West in 6th, and then Williamsville East and Amherst in the bottom at 7 and 8. That's a tough league. There's going to be 1 or 2 teams in that group that miss the playoffs that certainly are postseason worthy team. 3rd and 6. 4 minutes gone by here in the opening quarter. Will South still on their opening possession. Tasca hands it off to Zachary. He's got some space up the middle. He's going to get a first down and way more as he's brought down just outside the South Park 20. And the Billies continue to roll here on their opening series. Couple nice runs from Zachary, a couple catches from Max Graves, and Billies are knocking on the door of the red zone now as they look to cash in on their opening drive. Tasca got 2 receivers to his left side, 1 to the right. And it looks like it's going to be a run here for Jeremy Thompson. Stutter steps along the left side, looks to avoid some tacklers. Now he's wrapped up and brought down to the turf, but it looks like there was a flag thrown on the far side of the field there.
So far, that's the only thing that's hurt the Billies so far today early on is the flags.
That's the only time they've had to move backwards with the ball. No negative plays from this team. It's going to be a hold. But I think they're okay with that, Tom, because they're in 4-down territory now, and they're going to be okay with winding down clock and keeping South Park's offense off the field. That's something Tim Delaney said on Tuesday when I spoke with him, that he expected Krzansky and his squad to do is run the ball, chew clock off, and keep that South Park offense, as you mentioned, Willoughby, Fulgham, all those guys off the field. And they're already 5 minutes into this opening drive. 1st and 15 for the Billies. Tasca going to hand that one off, and it's a quick stop for South Park. Looked like the ball popped out for a moment, but it was quickly recovered by Dewar. Tom mentioned Dewar a minute ago, 286 rushing yards on the season, 8.5 yards a carry he averages. He was also South's leading rusher last season, averaged 11.1 yards a carry last year, and scored 6 times. Those are both team highs. Rushed for best 390 yards for the Billies last season, having a strong start to his senior campaign this fall.
Now South Park knowing they got to come up with a big stop right here, right? You don't want to give up a touchdown on your home turf to start off in a big game.
2nd and 19 here. Will South lost a couple on that last run. Now Tasca gonna get sacked. A big rush right off the edge from South Park. And that's gonna be a big loss. That'll bring up 3rd and very long. They're gonna call it 3rd and 29.
It was tough. With the black and red, it is tough to see the number
right there. Yeah, I was going
to
say I couldn't tell who that was either, but
I thought it was number 3. Isaiah Kelly is who I thought it was. But again, very tough to see the colors, especially in the night right now.
Well, regardless of who it was that picked up the sack, South Park dropping Will South for another 12-yard loss there. It's going to be 3rd and 29.
Big blitz, though. Big blitz, John. That was a great play right there. Great call.
5 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Billy's still with their first possession. Tasca going to go through the air with this one, looking for Graves. It falls incomplete.
Ball falls incomplete.
And that'll bring up 4th and very long. Assuming we see some Will South punt here. So South Park's defense, I should say, stands tall. They weather the storm, get a break from a couple flags, but Tom, they took advantage of the flags. Will South moves back, and then they just bring the heat towards them twice and ends up giving them a 3rd and long, and then you get one break there, and you end up forcing a punt.
Yeah, that was big. Right after we said they had to make that stop, what do? They blitz from the outside. Boom, get that stop they needed.
And even though you don't get points, if you're Williamsville South, you got to be happy with that first drive, you're Krzansky, because like I said, you just chewed off 7 minutes of clock. They're in formation to go for right now. It looks like they're going to go for it. I was assuming that they would punt and pin South Park back deep in their own end. But let's see what the Billies do here. They're going to go for it on 4th and 29. Pass out to Graves is tipped. And South Park is going to get the turnover on downs. And with that, Tom, they get a very good starting spot for the offense. They're going to take over at around their own 40.
Malik Laporte with that tip right there does a great job, because if that does get complete, they're going to still push them deep down, which may have been even better than what a punt trying to do, is pin them down farther into the territory for South Park. But, boy, that's a big tip right there, a big stop. Now you give your team great starting position to be able to go into this drive.
7-minute, 10-second possession for Will South to start this game, and they come up with no points. And now we will see this high-powered South Park offense for the first time. Sophomore quarterback Noah Willoughby, number 4 in black, and Peril Fulgham, the senior running back, are the two guys to watch on this offense. And that was Fulgham who came up with the sack a few plays ago. Now that I see them out there on the field, he's listed as 5'6", 170, and he does look small out there. But, man, Tom, from seeing him last year, just seeing the numbers that he puts up this season, he plays bigger than 5'6", 170.
On defensive and offensive side of the ball, it doesn't matter. He plays big, no doubt about it.
And there's Fulgham on 1st and 10, trying to keep the wheels turning up the middle, and just gets back to the line of scrimmage.
It looked like the first one in on the stop right there was number 70, Matthew Murphy.
So South Park, as we mentioned, scored 38 points in the first half last week against Will East in the 64-35 win. They scored 24 in the first quarter alone. Will be tough to do that tonight. But their offense looking to get off to a hot start. Fulgham's pass there is intercepted. Willoughby's pass intercepted. That's Thompson. And what a break there for the Billies. The defense comes up big early. They get the offense back on the field quick, but there's a flag out on the field. We'll see if this changes anything. Noah Willoughby was looking to go deep on that one, underthrew it. And Jeremy Thompson was there for Will South just to get under the pass and take it back the other way.
Think about this, though. If Will South now can have a drive just like they did in the first possession, they could end up taking up the entire first quarter with South Park only having one play. Or two plays, right? Really a run to Fulgham and then that pass. And this is going to be a 15-yard penalty in favor of Will South right now.
Group of officials tonight: referee Mike Ziglis, umpire Steve Bell, linesman Bob Dorfline, line judge Tim Everett, and back judge Bill Smith. Thank our officials tonight and every night, of course. Without them, we wouldn't have the game. So as you said, Tom, great starting spot for Will South off that interception from Thompson and the 15-yard penalty at the Sparks 33-yard line. They're basically back where they were at, Tom, before they took a few penalties and sacks on the last drive.
What's going on here?
Yeah, now South is backing up. So maybe there was a penalty after the whistle against the Billies as well. And it looks like that was the case.
Yeah, it was eventually supposed to be against the Billies. It looks like it was a face mask is what it was against the Billies. They went the wrong way right there and did it against South Park. So now you've got it, as you see right here, Billies end up backing up.
Yeah, this certainly changes things. They're going to start from their own 37 instead of the Sparks 33. So the field flipped a little bit on Will South, but either way, they will take possession, as Tom said. 4:08 to go here in the first quarter. They run this possession like they did their last one, and they'll get through the fourth quarter, as Tom said, with South Park running just one play on offense. Tasca going to keep it here after faking the handoff on 1st and 10, but he's got nowhere to go. Group of Spark defenders smother him up there for no gain.
And it looked like the first one in on the tackle for South Park was number 66, Jameer Stevens.
Number 66, Jameer Stevens on the stop.
But look at that clock tick right there, right? Already 3:36 right now. And you, like you said, you talked to Coach Delaney, said to you right in there,
yeah,
I know they want to slow the game down. He said that in the interview, and they're doing exactly what they want so far earlier in this game. but they've got to put points on the board, right? You can't keep doing this and not put anything up on the board.
Down to about 3:15 in this opening quarter. Trio receivers to Tasca's right side. You see at the bottom of your screen, one up top to his left. Takes the snap, looks to that left side. He's able to complete it to Johnson, and he's going to be brought down a few yards short of the marker. That'll bring up third and short for Will South.
Pass is complete to Johnson.
Brett Johnson, 6'2", 190-pound senior for the Billies.
It looked like Laporte right there was in on the stop for South Park.
Johnson, 6 catches coming into tonight's game, 5 of them coming in the Week 1 loss to Frontier. 3rd and 3, they're going to hand it off, and Dewar able to get some running room up the middle. He gets a first down and more as he crosses midfield.
And the clock just keeps ticking, really, right there. Was that Durr on that one, or was that Zachary on that carry?
It might have been Zachary. I had trouble seeing the number. I'm saying in
tough.
pregame.
Yo,
I love All High
struggling.
Stadium, but the bars in the middle, they do get in the way of your view sometimes. 1st and 10 from the South Park 47 for Will South. Tasca looking to throw it, gets it to Thompson, makes a nice move to get around one defender, looks to get to the outside, but he trips up and is brought down. So a short gain on that catch and run by Thompson, as we're now inside 2 minutes to go in this opening quarter.
On the stop was number 25, Saquon Bland.
Saquon Bland on the tackle.
Junior linebacker for South Park.
5'10", 190 he's listed at.
South Park comes to the line, 2nd and 6 here for the Billies. Dewar to Tasca's right in the backfield. Trio receivers to the right side again. Tasca doing a great job managing the game right now. The Billies with possession basically the entirety of this first quarter. Looks to dial one up deep here and able to complete it with Johnson. He connects. He goes out of bounds around the South Park 15, but a huge pickup of about 30 on that throw. And again, the Will South offense, getting close to that South Park end zone.
John, what a throw. He threw that where only he could catch that over the shoulder. He really looked right up into that. What a great throw right there.
Just about a minute to go here in the opening quarter. 1st and 10 right at the South Park 15. Billies are in the red zone for the first time this evening. Dewar on the carry, looks to get out to the right side, cuts back to the middle and is brought down. That'll keep the clock running for Will South. We'll see if they'll have time to get one more play in before quarter's end, but we'll see if they get 2.
That was Bland in on that tackle also.
2nd down and 2 for the Billies.
So a gain of 8 there for Dewar makes it 2nd and 2. They're inside the 10 now at the South Park 7. They continue to go with that formation of 3 receivers to Tasca's right and the 1 out far to the left. They're going to hand it to Dewar, cuts to the right side, and it looks like he stopped just short of the goal line, got enough for the first down, so the clock will stop at 12.
Looked like on the stop was number 44, Damari Johnson.
And the clock will run again. Will South, though, already going back to their sideline. So that is how we will end the first quarter. Through 12 minutes here at All High Stadium, we are tied at 0 between South Park and Will South in this Class A South Division matchup. Billy's got the ball right on the 1. We'll take a quick commercial break and be right back for second quarter action here on WMY Athletics.
When you're ready to buy a home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com. You can find new listings before they appear anywhere else and refine your search for immediate notifications of similar properties. Plus, get pre-qualified to make your offers. Connect with a local Howard Hanna agent who knows your area and how to close the deal. So when you're ready to buy, visit howardhanna.com and find your home fast.
I love being home.
Welcome back to WNYathletics.com. We are coming to you live from All High Stadium here on Main Street in Buffalo, New York. John Simon, Tom Prince bringing you the call between South Park and Williamsville South in this Section 6 Class A matchup. Started the second quarter, as I said here, we're scoreless, but Williamsville South driving, and they are knocking on the door of getting some points first as they are at the South Park 1-yard line to start this quarter. Billies have had the ball for virtually the entirety of this game so far. Had a 7.5-minute drive to start the game. Gave the ball to the South Park Sparks after turnover on downs. Quickly got it back with an interception from Jeremy Thompson, and they have held the ball ever since then. So now they're at the South Park 1 to start the second quarter here. Tasca hands it off. Dewar, little stutter step, cuts back to the middle. Did he get it across the plane? He did. Touchdown, Billies. And the visiting Williamsville South squad takes a 6-0 lead here early in the second quarter.
Wow, John, it is right now, you got to think textbook right now what Will South has wanted to do, right? We're going to do everything to make the clock, keep the ball in our possession. Don't give South Park a lot of time. Right now, through the entire first quarter, South Park has run 2 plays.
And Christian Dewar, his 4th rushing touchdown of the season, gets the Billies on the board.
Ooh.
And the extra point kick is blocked. And South Park not going to get a chance to return it. That's just the rules. So they stop the bleeding at 6. But the Billies finally get points on the board. 2 long drives in. And Tom, like you said, they got the much-needed lead. And they're now in control of this game here in the early going.
I had on that block as number 2, Antonio Holton, who actually blocked that one. What a great job, as you saw him just take off up in the air right there. Holton listed at 6'3", 210, and you saw he used that size to his advantage as he got right through the line and lofted up into the air.
So as I mentioned, Dewar gets his 4th rushing touchdown of the season, gets Will South on the board. And they'll now kick off to South Park here. And Sparks with this drive, Tom, looking to just hold onto the ball for longer than a play.
Yeah, well, they had it longer than 1. They had it 2, right?
Right.
But no doubt, listen, it was a pass that got awry right there. But you would think I'm going to see is South Park's going to want to go to the run right now a little themselves. You saw 1 run to Fulgham, 1 pass with Willoughby. I would be expected you're going to see South Park want to control the game a little bit and get their offense out on the field a lot longer so that defense gets a break.
This one's going to be returned from South Park's own end zone and gets just across the 20, but a nice kick there from Williamsville South's Max Boyer, senior kicker. And now we'll see the Sparks offense come back out. As we mentioned, Noah Willoughby on quite a run for the Sparks as of late. 10 touchdown passes over the last 2 weeks and wins over Williamsville East and Amherst, but 3 interceptions so far in the year, them all coming in the opening week against West Seneca West, and now he has his 4th here tonight. So we'll see if the sophomore and the offense bounce back here on this drive.
Listen, everyone you heard, South Park loses the first game. Oh, they're not the same. Don't worry about it. We knew we were going to see them get back into it, and they have and did it quickly as you see their sophomore quarterback getting themselves more and more acclimated to the offense.
Fulgham going to get another carry here, and he's going to get dropped for a short loss. South's defensive front right there to swallow him up. And Tom, you mentioned people saying South Park a different team this year. Obviously, they did lose some big pieces from last year's sectional championship team. They lost Keith Jackson, their star running back. Lost Marquand Fluitt, star defensive end. Dialing up deep here on 2nd and 11 is Willoughby, but that pass attempt incomplete. Was looking for Jeremy Yancey.
John, you just said it there. You lost possibly 2 of the top players in Western New York, not even on your team. In Western New York, 1 player of the year in Western New York, right?
Yeah, the other's a Division I defensive end.
and could have been defensive player of the year, right? If they went out there. It's just unbelievable what you've got ahead. And look at what Coach Delaney does. He's retooled. He's got them ready. They're back in a position to do something.
And that's something that Coach Delaney talked about on Tuesday, is after that first week against West Seneca West, as we see Willoughby drop back on 3rd and 11 here, and that pass nearly intercepted. Jeff Evlett in front of that one for the Billies, but that'll bring up 4th down, and I have to assume South Park will punt here. But like I said, Tim Delaney talking about his team earlier this week, they had to take some time to find themselves. You know, find those guys who could step in and fill the leadership roles left by Jackson and Fluid and the seniors that graduated from last year. And it took a week or so to do that, but he said during week 2 against Amherst, they sort of found that, and then everything really came together last week against Williamsville East.
John, 10 practices with a young team is nothing.
No scrimmage either.
Nothing.
So South Park going to punt here. 2 players back deep for South to return. This will land right around midfield and takes a bounce back towards South Park. So it'll be down just on the Sparks side of the 50. And that'll bring the Billies offense back out. Quick possession there for South Park. That's what you love to see if you're Craig Krasansky and the South coaching staff.
Listen, you can see they're getting access to Willoughby, right? They are getting to him quickly, not giving him a lot of time right now. So they're going to have to think about how do they get Willoughby some more time out there, because so he can make those throws that he needs to.
And this Williamsville South offense is a short field to work with here, starting at the South Park 49 on this possession. But Tom, I mean, you got to love what you're seeing right now with the chance to even win this time of possession battle even more here in the first half. The Billies could run this clock down to 4 or 5 minutes remaining on this drive if they want to.
You're absolutely right. We'll see. And you expect it's going to be run, run, run right here.
That last possession for South Park took less than a minute off the clock. Here we see Thompson on the end around. He gets some nice running room, and that's going to be a gain of about 13 or 14 yards as he's brought down inside the South Park 35.
And that's Halton, who actually was on the stop right there also for South Park.
And it's funny, you know, one of the things head coach of Will South, Craig Krasansky, did say, Tom, is the games that these teams play in the early weeks of the season truly, truly matter. Who your opponents are really matter. And he said that the winning teams like Frontier, Jamestown, who are combined 5-1 so far, they got South prepared for this game against the Sparks, where South Park, 2 teams that they've beaten this year haven't won a game yet. They seem to be off to a slower start tonight here against the Billies. As Zachary gets a touch here on 1st and 10. He's got some running room now down the left sideline, and he finds the end zone, but we got a flag on the field. We'll see if this brings it back.
You would think it's going to, usually at that point in the run is somewhere it normally does come back, but we'll see what happens.
So South continuing to mix up their looks. They're spreading the ball around, giving different guys touches.
Pushing the back right there is what it was, as you could see, and it was. So it'll be from the point of the foul that they'll mark that off.
The Billies will have the ball 1st and 6 from the 30-yard line.
So it'll be 1st and 6 for Will South. They got some yards on that carry, but then there was the hold that occurred. It was a spot foul. So that's why they get the 4 yards that they got before the flag was thrown. So they're at the South Park 30 here to start. 1st and 6. Tasca looking to throw, dials one up deep, looking for Johnson, and he caught it! Tasca to Brett Johnson in the back corner of the end zone, and just like that, it's a here early in the second.
Resulting in a Billies touchdown. Score is now 12-0.
A 30-yard bomb from Tasca to Johnson. The first passing score of the night for the Billies. And they're now going to look to make it a 13-point lead here with the extra point.
John Tasca has some pinpoint throws where only his receiver's been able to get it. He has looked fantastic tonight.
So now, first extra point was blocked. That one is up and good. So South puts another 7 on the board, and they lead South Park 13-0 with 10:18 to go here in the first half. We'll take a quick break and be right back with more action here on WMY Athletics.
When you're ready to buy a home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com. You can find new listings before they appear anywhere else and refine your search for immediate notifications of similar properties. Plus, get pre-qualified to make your offer stronger and connect with a local Howard Hanna agent who knows your area and how to close the deal. So when you're ready to buy, visit howardhanna.com and find your home fast.
I love being home.
Welcome back to WY Athletics, coming to you live from All High Stadium for tonight's Thursday night matchup, Class A matchup between Williamsville South and South Park, and the visiting Billies currently leading the Sparks 13-0 with 10:18 to go here in the second quarter. John Simon, Tom Prince here bringing you the call as that one goes through the back of the South Park end zone for a touchback. And we're still looking to see something get started from this South Park offense. 2 trips out on the field, an interception, and a 3 and out. And I know it's still the first half, plenty of football to play in this one, but they got to get something going here because right now it is all Williamsville South.
Total yards right now. Approximately right now, you've got here 148 yards here for the Billies, -1 right now for South Park. They've got to get their offense going right here.
They had 588 total yards on offense last week against Williamsville East, 451 through the air, 137 on the ground. Willoughby looking to pass here on first down. He'll take off with his legs instead. Gets out ahead for a gain of about 7 before being brought down from behind.
Matthew Murphy, number 70 on the tackle. The defensive end, 5'11", 225-pounder. That right there was the most yards they've had on a drive so far, right? Right there.
Yeah, it's a gain, like I said, about 7 or 8. They'll mark it 2nd and 2. Going to hand it off to Fulgham here, and he's able to get through a couple tacklers, still keeping the wheels moving as he gets out to about the 35, and that'll move the chains for South Park, their first down of the evening.
On the tackle was number 54, Luke Capola, the outside linebacker, 5'10", 180-pounder right there. But this is what you talk about, Fulgham playing big, right? Keep those legs moving. Don't stop. Do what you can to make sure you get every extra yard.
316 yards on 43 carries and 7 touchdowns coming into the season as that pass is incomplete on 1st and 10. Fulgham was also 2nd on the team last year, of course. Keith Jackson, the Sparks' leading rusher, but last year Fulgham ran for 608 yards and 8 touchdowns, and this year he's off to a good start. Last week had a big game as well against the Flames, 4 touchdowns and 137 rushing yards.
We saw him games last year, John. I mean, he's electric. When he finds the open field, watch out. He's going to go right to the end zone.
Also a good threat in the receiving game, 9 catches for about 80 yards and has a touchdown this year in the passing game. So definitely a big player there. You see Fulgham again get the carry, and he's able to get another 9 or 10 on that run.
I like this, though. I like the methodical. I like them going right now to the run. Quick passes. We saw Willoughby even go for a run. I like what I'm seeing this drive right now as far as South Park looks.
Mark it as a gain of 9, and it'll be 3rd and 1 for the Sparks. They hand it off to Fulgham again. He runs to the right side, has plenty to get the first down, stays in bounds, and now is pushed out around the 45. But this is what it took for the Sparks offense to get going. It's funny, Tom, what the whole narrative of the week has been this South Park offense is finally not one-dimensional. It's not just big guys up front in a run game. They throw the ball now too, but here tonight, we see the run game kind of shouldering the load on their offense.
Absolutely, and especially I like that they're not afraid to run the ball. A lot of coaches sometimes when they're behind will go more to the pass. You can see Coach Delaney calm right now, sticking with the run.
And now they're going to look to throw again on 1st and 10. Willoughby airing it out, and that one incomplete. Went through Amir Polk's hands, but we had a late flag thrown.
And I think that's going to be passing interference right there.
The call is pass interference on the Phillies.
So it'll go against Will South. That'll certainly be a big help for South Park as Willoughby was looking for Polk. And that'll move the Sparks up.
Polk, the intended receiver on the play.
You know what I like about that? You saw run, right? That opens up that pass game, and you can see Willoughby goes long right there in the pass. Even though it doesn't connect, gets the passing interference, gets the first down, and now you keep moving the sticks like you need to.
So it's 1st and 10 from the 30 of Williamsville South. South Park looking to cut into this 13-point deficit. They hand it off to Fulgham, and he's again met by a group of Billies, brought down for no gain.
The first one there for Will South was number 2, Nolan Holtz, the outside linebacker.
Stop for a short loss in the play.
About 4 minutes gone by here in the second quarter of this Class A South Division matchup.
And I apologize. I saw 2, but I think it may have been 7 right there. Oh, no, I had 2. I apologize.
Mark that as a loss of 1. It's going to be an end around here for Isaiah Kelly, and he's able to get about 4 on that one.
So, folks, stick with us when we go to halftime. When we go right to halftime, we're going to do a halftime interview with Coach Delaney coming off the field. Then, just as they come back onto the field, we'll do an interview with Will South's coach right there at the point just before about the 3-minute point there, and then plus we'll have our halftime show. So we've got a lot going on right there for us to be able to get you guys full updates so you can see everything that's going on.
Big third down coming up here for South Park. They need 8 to get the first. Willoughby looking to throw, and that one incomplete. Just a little too far to the outside. His intended receiver was Yancey. Now bring up 4th down, and South Park in 4-down territory. Got to assume the Sparks will go for it here. We saw them go for it earlier on 4th down.
Down here, I'd be amazed they wouldn't go for it right here. I'd probably be more shocked if they didn't go for it.
Yeah. But this would certainly be another huge stop for the Billies defense. And get the ball back up 2 scores.
And a chance to go up 20-0 right here, right? And to be able to do it and do a methodical drive with 7 minutes still left inside this first half.
South Park calls a timeout here. They'll take a couple extra moments to think this over. We'll take a quick break as well. Stay tuned. We'll be right back for more action here on WNY Athletics.
Paul Wolf Agency, how can I help?
I got a problem. I got a big problem. The house flooded overnight, everything's destroyed, and I don't know what to do.
You can relax. Wait.
What's the damage?
It's bad.
As opposed to good? It's 20 minutes away. I'll be there in 10.
You're Teddy?
Yes, sir.
I'm Paul Wolf. I solve problems.
Oh, good, because I got a big one in here.
May I come in?
Absolutely. Mr. Wolf, can I get you a cup of coffee?
Welcome back to WNY Athletics. We are coming to you live from All High Stadium for some Thursday night high school football Class A matchup between South Park and Williamsville South. Sparks currently looking at a 4th and 8, down 13-0 here in the second quarter. And that one's intercepted. Willoughby's pass picked off in the middle of the field. His second interception. And that one intercepted by Evlett. And they'll get it back, and it looks like around their own 20.
Wow. I mean, has this been textbook for what Will South has done right now? It's been textbook right here.
So 1st and 10 for the Billies. They take over again after their second forced turnover. That's a run up the middle. And might have been a gain of 1 for Zachary.
On the stop on that one was number 83 for South Park, Javari Bald, the junior, 6'2", 185-pounder.
They marked that as a gain of 1, and Will South just continuing to do what their goal is, run that ball and wind that clock down, already approaching the midway mark of the second quarter. I don't have the official numbers in front of me, but the time of possession has got to be very much in Will South's favor as that pass is nearly picked off.
Pass is attempted on the right side.
Nasca's throw intended for Gerzone was just a little high. Actually, that was Johnson, his intended receiver. And it was nearly picked off by the South Park defensive back. So South Park nearly gets the ball back there with a turnover, but that brings up a quick 3rd and long for Williamsville South. Billy is looking at 3rd and 9 here.
The only thing that was bad about that pass is to stop the clock when they really, well, South wants that clock to keep moving right now.
You got a flag thrown on the far side of the field by the South Park bench. Let's see what the call is here. It's a sideline warning against South Park.
Sideline warning assessed to Sparks.
So that will now bring up 3rd and 9 for the Billies. 3 receivers. Tatasca's left, now puts 1 in motion to the right side. He'll takes the snap, sees pressure, is able to dump it off to Dewar. Makes a cut to the outside, now goes back to the middle, and it's enough for a first down. Christian Dewar with a beautiful catch and run to extend the drive for Will South. That'll move the sticks and keep the offense on the field.
And on the stop was Malik Laporte. Again, he's been coming up big defensively for South Park. But boy, that clock just keeps ticking right here. John, we got to let everyone know too. When we get a moment, we got some changes in our schedule for the rest of the weekend due to a game that's been changed.
Sure, we'll have some time at some point to let the public know. Tasca, 1st and 10, looks over the middle, connects with Johnson again as they move into the South Park side of the 50. Brett Johnson able to reel in another one. And the Will South offense clicking on all cylinders right now, Tom.
It really is. Doing everything they need to do, both from the run and from the pass. I'll tell you right now, Tasca looks like he is one of the veterans out there, one of the stars here in Western New York at quarterback. He has hit every open man that he's needed to today. And on that tackle was Khalil Lee for South Park on the stop.
1st and 10 from the South Park 42. Dewar going to get a touch here, and he spins ahead for a short gain.
Give up the middle.
On the stop was number 44, Damari Johnson, the junior, 5'10", 220-pounder.
And Will South has certainly done a good job in this game so far, Tom, of holding on to the ball, you know, just winding that clock down, building up their time of possession. And they started this game with the ball, so they'll kick to South Park to start the 3rd quarter. If you're Will South, you would love to take this possession down all the way to the end of the 1st half and obviously end it with points, take a 3-score lead into the locker room. And now we get a Billy's timeout here with 4:26 to go in the quarter.
So while we got a timeout, why don't we go over some of the streaming things that we've got going on. So the change in our schedule for this weekend is tomorrow. We will not be going to Medina for Medina Akron. Unfortunately, that game has been postponed. We will get it hopefully when they reschedule it because we had 2 3-0 teams that were going on there. So instead, we'll be going to West Seneca East to do West Seneca East versus Cheektowaga tomorrow. That'll be one of the games tomorrow. The other game will be West Seneca West versus Jamestown. So those will be the 2 games that we're going to do tomorrow. And then on Saturday, we go to the big Monsignor Martin matchup as Canisius will be taking on St. Joe's.
Yeah, Jamestown, one of the other top teams in this A South division. West Seneca West looking to stay in the playoff race. They're 0-2. They've lost 2 in a row since their Week 1 win over South Park. So the Indians trying to stay in things. And West Seneca East, Tom, I had their game last week at Pioneer, and the Trojans look great on the road against the Panthers. Got a big win out there. So 2nd and 9 now for the Billies out of the timeout. Tasca with plenty of time to throw, able to connect there. And that's another first down. As Will South able to move the chains.
And we're starting to get a feel of everything that's going on in all these divisions, John, when you think about it, right? And right now, you got 5 teams here in this South Division that are going head-to-head, right? Jamestown, Frontier, you got Hamburg that everyone's forgetting about, right? And you better not forget about it because they're undefeated right now. And then the 2 teams we have out here, Will South and South Park. Every time you play against one of those 5 teams, it becomes a must-win important game.
Max Graves with that last catch for Will South puts the Billies at the 30. They're going to give it up the middle this time. And able to run ahead there. I believe that time it was Zachary. And now he'll go to the sideline for a quick breather as Brad Evlett comes back in after grabbing the interception a few minutes ago.
And look at what they take over. 7:10 is when they took over, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, 7:04.
Yep.
6 seconds. I'll give you that.
All right, fair. Thank you. But here we go. 4 minutes already taken off. If they can get right now another first down, wow, they could be taking this almost very close to the end of the first half.
2nd and 5 from the 25. And that's going to be Dewar. Tiptoeing the line, and now he's knocked out of bounds by a few defenders. That'll stop the clock, but also move the chains. Another first down for the Billies.
Boy, and it looked like he was going to get a loss of yards there the way he was going. He was actually went backwards a few yards, kicked it into another gear, made a good move, and did a great job of being able to get a first down right here. And again, keeping this drive alive, keeping the time clicking, make sure the ball stays in their possession.
One of the other things Coach Kozansky told me Tuesday when I was at Will South's practice, Tom, is, the team's really loosened up since their Week 3 win over Amherst last Friday. Their first of the season, it was kind of a monkey off their backs, and they certainly look more relaxed here tonight. Dewar on 1st and 10, makes a nice move, and he's going to find pay dirt. Touchdown, Williamsville South. Billies go up 3 scores as Dewar gets his 2nd rushing score of the game. So Williamsville South, 2 forced turnovers tonight, 2 touchdowns come from them. And they're in full control of this one. It's 19-0 late here in the first half.
Oh, wait a second. No, there's a hold that's going against Will South right here.
Oh, and that was
So this is coming back right now.
Call.
That will not be a touchdown.
So Dewar's 17-yard touchdown run gets called back. Or 11-yard run it would have been, I guess. That'll bring up... No, it would have been a 17. So it was another one of those spot holds. 1st and 8 here for Williamsville South. They get 2 yards, but no touchdown on the penalty. Tasca, empty backfield, looks to throw over the middle, and that one incomplete. Was looking there for Evelt. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Boy, one touchdown, almost a second touchdown right there that you're talking about here in the end of the first half. But you just got to love right now the scheme that Will South has come into, and they are playing their game. I'll tell you, it's going to be fun to hear that interview at halftime to see what they've got to keep doing and what he feels he's got to do to win this game. Same thing for Coach. I want to hear what changes he thinks he's going to need to make from Coach Delaney.
Yeah, an empty backfield for the Billies on 2nd and 8. Tasca drops back looking for Johnson in the front corner, and he hit him in the hands, but it popped out and falls to the turf. Great defense there from South Park as well. That's another incompletion. 3rd down coming up for Will South.
Looked like that was broken up by number 13 for South Park. I don't have a 13 on there, but that's what it again, tough to see the number where they were down in the corner there.
So big 3rd down here for the Billies. They thought they had a touchdown on this drive. It was wiped out due to a penalty. Looking to go up 3 scores here in the first half. Handoff to Dewar. Able to avoid one tackler, but he's going to get met by a whole pack of Sparks there as they keep Dewar to no gain. And that'll bring up 4th down for the Billies.
Boy, I'll tell you, big stop right now here for South Park on 4th down. Think about it. You could be down 20-0 right now, and you have a big flag in your favor. Now you can get some momentum, and you could have some time to try to do something to put points on the board yourself before they end the half.
Now, Will South does have a kicker, senior Max Voyer. He had a nice kickoff earlier, and I saw him practicing kicks on Tuesday this week. He's going to come on for the field goal attempt here. It's about a 35-yarder. It's a good snap. It's a good hold. The kick is up, and that one goes through. So South adds 3 on the field goal from Voyer, a 34-yarder. And that makes it 16-0 Billies here with 1:46 to go until halftime.
I think that's the first field goal I've seen so far this season in a game we've broadcast.
Yeah, I would have to say, I don't think I've seen one either. But
and a good one, right? That was a really good kick right there. That would have went for probably could have gone for almost another 10, 15 yards more.
So that boosts the South lead to 16-0, and Tom's short clock for South Park to work with now if they want to get some points on the board before halftime. As we said, Sparks set to get the ball to start the second half, but they really don't have any time to play with here. They want to start getting points on the board as soon as possible, I would think. So South, with 2 touchdowns and a field goal here in the second quarter, gives them a 16-0 lead over the home South Park Sparks. Voyer booting this one away. We fielded just inside the South Park 5. And it's a big return here for the Sparks. He's got some running room now. He's down the left sideline. He's still on his feet, but he's knocked out of bounds. And it's hard to see who that was on the return. It looks like it might have been Isaiah Kelly, number 3. But that'll give the Sparks a great starting spot here.
But listen, you just said not a lot of time, right? You're going to think you're going to have to do a lot, but look at what happens. That's what special teams can do for you. Now you got phenomenal field position, and a minute 35 doesn't seem that bad right now for where you are in the field.
They're at the Billies 47, as Tom said, just 95 seconds left until halftime in this one. Willoughby takes the snap, looks to throw on first down, fires one over the middle and connects. That one able to be caught by Yancey. That'll move the chains for the Sparks. Stops the clock too while they move him. Now it's back to running. 1:25 and counting here in the second quarter. We're going to go to Polgum on this one. Gets to the outside, makes a cut inside, now back out, and he's forced out of bounds. That's another nice break for the Sparks, Tom. Stops the clock after Fulgham picks up another first. Peril Fulgham, the nice carry, gets them right around the 20. Actually, it'll be closer to the 22. Willoughby drops back, has an open receiver in the end zone, but just can't connect.
Willoughby attempts to pass to the end zone.
Was looking, I believe that was Polk, his intended receiver. And that'll stop the clock with 1:09 left on it. 2nd and 10 for South Park.
Boy, that would have been big right there, right? Imagine being able to put points up on the board right there. With a minute 30, in 30 seconds, you put points up on the board when it looked like it could be a possible 20-0 at one point because it got taken off the board.
So 2nd and 10, and now we get a timeout call by Williamsville South. Their defense will talk some things over as they want to get to halftime with 0 points against. So we'll take a quick break as well. We'll be right back for more second quarter action between South Park and Will South here on WNY Athletics.
When it's time to start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today. And we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love being home.
Welcome back to WNYathletics.com YouTube. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Thursday night high school football action coming to you live from All High Stadium as it's South Park and Williamsville South in a Class A matchup. 2nd and 10 here for the Sparks as Willoughby's pass over the middle is complete.
Willoughby's pass over the middle complete. Number 2.
That's Antonio Halton on the catch, excuse me. Clock continues to run, 50 seconds and counting to go until halftime. South Park trying to get their first points on the board. 3rd and 2, they hand it off to Fulgham, and he goes right up the middle and all the way into the end zone for a touchdown. The Sparks are on the board. They trail by 10 now, and Fulgham gets them on the board with that 14-yard score.
What a momentum change. That is literally a minimum of a 14-point change right there that we just had, John. That really is what happened when you talk about there. Well, I shouldn't say that because it was really only a 4-point. So really, what are you talking about? A 10-point shift right there because it did put the field goal up. But you can see a big momentum shift right there. Special teams in any game is huge, whether you're going to prepare for it or not. That field position right there on that kickoff is the difference right now of South Park putting points on the board and getting positive momentum going into halftime.
So Pero Fulgham's 14-yard rushing score is his first of the night, the first points of the night for South Park, his 8th rushing touchdown of the season. And Tom, now in just 4 games this year, he has tied his touchdown total from last season, which of course was just 6 games due to the COVID-shortened spring season, but still 8 touchdowns again this year for Fulgham in 2 less games. We talked about he's having a great start to this season, and now he's gotten the South Park offense going here in this first half.
And how about with such little time left, right? You got less than 40 seconds left, and you ran the ball still. That's the kind of faith you have in your running back that they can make some big difference.
We'll go for 2 here. We'll look to make it a 1-score game. They do a delayed handoff, and it looks like it's not enough. So Will South's defense comes up with a big stop there. They keep the lead at 10, and they'll get the ball with about 40 seconds to go here in the first half. And now, Tom, that's a decision for Williamsville South. I was going to say for South Park, they get a touchdown here in the final minute of the half. They get some points on the board, and they'll get the kick to start the third quarter in a little bit here. But for Williamsville South now, what do? Do you just take a knee and go into halftime with the lead, or do you try and get a little dangerous here and maybe go for some points before going into the locker room?
To me, I'm going to take the knee. I came out. I've got a 10-point lead right now in my favor. I don't want to do anything that could possibly risk that the other way, right? You already saw what could happen with a big kickoff return right now with South Park. do you want to take the risk of possibly something happening and you actually getting them really into this game?
So South Park ready to kick off, well, about ready to kick off. Williamsville South is ready to receive. As they've got one man deep. And it looks like it's Thompson back for the Billies. And this one is going to be kicked to the left side of the field. It's going to be picked up and returned by Braxton Vaughn. And he's dropped in the middle. So Billy offense will be just inside of their own 40 to start. 33.2 seconds left in the quarter.
So let's see exactly what we did, right? Or is Coach thinking the same thing we are right now? I think they're going to run one.
Yeah, Will South looks
They're
like they're
gonna
going to run a play here.
They got trips to our side, too.
Tasca takes it. He's going to hand it off. It's Dewar. Gets some space out to the left side, and he'll take it out of bounds to stop the clock. Nice gain there. Picked up about 6, it looks like, maybe closer to 5.
So everyone knows Jake Fyack is going to be doing our halftime interviews. We'll probably at halftime give him a moment, too, to tell us what he's seeing down at field level for us. We'll be doing a halftime show to say what we've seen. And like I said, we got a lot going on at halftime, so stick with us through halftime. We got some big things to talk about here.
2nd and 5 coming up for Williamsville South. Got a 10-point lead here with just a few plays left until halftime. Tasca going to hand it off. This time it's Zachary. He's able to get up to midfield. That's another first down. We'll briefly stop the clock as now the rain's starting to come in. It's definitely windy out there. You see mist being blown into the field. Will South will spike it, stop the clock at 16 and a half. And they'll talk things over real quick with limited time left.
We got our first score update coming from Star Point as Star Point leads 20-6 over North Tonawanda in the second quarter.
And another Class A matchup, only up in the North Division. Of course, we've got 2 South Division teams here tonight. South Park 3rd in the league right now with a 2-1 division record. Will South sitting in 5th at 1-2.
This announcer over here is loving us because we're giving him all his stuff to announce over the loudspeaker.
So South Park's defense back out after the timeout. They've got 16 and a half seconds left before they can go into halftime and feel a little happy that they've stopped the bleeding here. Will South got off to a big start in this game. It was 0-0 after the first quarter, but the Billies held the ball virtually the entire first 12 minutes. South Park only ran 2 plays, the second being an interception that gave the ball back to Williamsville South and led to 2 touchdowns, a field goal, but South Park has now cut into the deficit. 1st and 10, and Tasca's pass way over the head of Johnson. Takes only 4 seconds off the clock. Yeah, it was a fast opening quarter, but things have certainly slowed up here.
Well, you remember now you've got both teams passing, right? Because you're at the end of the quarter, and every pass attempt that you miss stops that clock, and now we're seeing that come to fruition versus in the beginning, a lot of running the ball, a lot of keeping the clock moving. So difference in style of play is what it is right now.
Tasca going to look to throw on 2nd and 10, tries to escape from some pressure. Now he's going to use his legs to pick up yards, and he's got to get out of bounds. Stops the clock at exactly 5 seconds to play. That'll bring up 3rd down and short for the Billies. Tasco definitely not afraid to use his legs this season, at least coming into the game. Had 23 rushing yards through the first 3 games. Not a great average, but has carried it 16 times. And of course, that includes sack yards in there as well, so I'm sure he's had some nice runs this year. This will assumably be the last play of the half for Williamsville South. 3rd and 4 from the South Park 44. Tasca gonna drop back, looks to throw. He's hit as he throws, and the ball's loose. It's picked up by South Park. Zeros are on their clock, and Antonio Halton was brought down. He had the ball, but that'll bring us to halftime. So through 24 minutes here at All High Stadium, Williamsville South leads South Park 16-6. We'll take a quick break, come right back for the on-field interview with Jake Fyock and Tim Delaney, and then we'll get into halftime. So stay tuned here to WNY Athletics. We'll be right back.
I love being home.
There's nothing better than a house to come home to. You've earned it, and we'll make it happen. Our local real estate experts and in-house team of financial professionals make buying or selling your home simple. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
I love.
Half, Wolf South currently up on South Park 16-6. Coach Delaney, talk about that first half. You guys struggled a little bit on the offensive side of the ball. Wilby threw a couple picks. What was his biggest mishap you've seen from him in the passing game?
They're playing us in man, and they got a good game plan so far, and we only had the ball 2 plays in the whole first quarter, so tough to get in any kind of rhythm.
Guys provided a little bit of spark towards the end of that first half, getting that big touchdown by Fulgham. Big adjustments you want to see in the second half to get you guys back in the game.
Yeah, just still being physical on defense. We got to try to get them off the field, quicker. Can't be those long drives, and offensively we'll work on trying to get off press and try to get some guys open.
Coach, thank you for your time. Heard from there from South Park head coach Tim Delaney. I'm Jacob Fike reporting on the sidelines. Tom Prince, John Simon, back to you guys up at the broadcast booth.
Thanks very much, Jake. We appreciate you and Tim Delaney for doing that interview. We'll be back in just a few minutes. We're at halftime here at All High Stadium, 16-6. Will South leads South Park. We'll take another quick break and be right back for a halftime show from Tom and I. So stay tuned here on WNY Athletics.
When it's time to start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love being home.
Are you in pain from a no-fault car accident? Don't wait. Call RES Physical Medicine and Rehab today and take advantage of our 24 to 48-hour appointment pledge. One of our medical professionals will see you within 48 hours. RES offers DXD imaging for a more accurate diagnosis in less time. This allows our doctors to coordinate the most effective treatment plan to get you on your way to recovery faster. Feel better with RES Physical Medicine and Rehab. Click or call today to learn more.
Paul Wolf Agency, how can I help?
I got a problem. I got a big problem. The house flooded overnight, everything's destroyed, and I don't know what to do.
You can relax. The wolf is on his way.
What's the damage?
It's bad.
As opposed to good? Hey, I'll be there in 10.
You're Teddy?
Yes, sir.
I'm Paul Wolf. I solve problems.
Oh, good, because I got a big one in here.
May I come in?
Absolutely. Mr. Wolf, can I get you a cup of coffee?
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
At Cairo First Wellness, your health and well-being is our passion. Let us take care of you and your family like one of our own.
Cairo First Wellness Center is dedicated to providing patients long-term relief and teaching them how to continue taking care of themselves. With a blend of different techniques, services, and personalized treatment plans, we'll help you find wellness in a way that's right for you. Between chiropractic care, spinal decompression, nutritional counseling, massage therapy, custom orthotics, and more, your relief is in our hands. If twisting, popping, and cracking intimidate you, our Pro Adjuster restores the same range of motion as a physical adjustment would with gentle, repeated tapping.
Dr. Mo at Cairo First has been taking care of my back needs for the past 4 years. His staff treats you like family. I've had the traction, I've had the massage done, and every time leave here feeling fresh and brand new.
Cairo First Wellness Center. Your health and well-being. Our passion.
Welcome back to WNYathletics.com. We're at halftime here at All High Stadium. Tonight, Thursday Night Football, Week 4 Class A South matchup between South Park and Williamsville South. And right now at halftime, the visiting Billies lead the home Sparks 16-6. John Simon, Tom Prince here from WNY Athletics bringing you the call. Just saw Tim Delaney, head coach of South Park, and Jake Fyack out on the field a minute ago. And like we said, a little bit of a surprising score here at halftime, 16-6, the visiting Billy's lead, but really the story of it is that first quarter, even though they didn't score points, Tom, they established the run game early and held the ball for virtually the entire opening period.
Yeah, John, and Coach Delaney said it. We only touched the ball twice in the entire first quarter. We couldn't get into any rhythm that we wanted whatsoever. Special teams comes up big for South Park. They get the ball at the 49-yard line, make something happen offensively, put points on the board. This could easily have been a 20-0 swing. Now we've got a 16-6 ball game. As we saw, Will South was driving right there, gets a big penalty against them, ends up kicking the field goal instead of putting a touchdown on the board.
Yeah, and the other big thing, aside from Will South holding the ball for the majority of the first quarter and a good portion of the first half as a whole as well, was turnovers. 2 interceptions they got from Noah Willoughby, South Park sophomore quarterback. He had 3 in the first week of the season and a loss against West Seneca West. He had 0 over the last 2 weeks against Amherst and Willis, 10 passing touchdowns in the last 2 games. He's kind of taken a step back tonight, and I think that's a big feather in the cap to Williamsville South's defense.
Oh, no doubt about it, right? And Coach Delaney said it. They've really done a great job defensively against them. Doing a lot of man is what he said out there. You heard that in the interview. Did a great job defensively. So what are the changes right now that are going to come from South Park? That's what we're going to see. Definitely, we're going to see, I think, big doses of Fulgham, because we've seen him run the ball and be very effective running the ball so far for South Park. The one thing, though, for Will South that's got to get cleaned up is the penalties, right? And you saw that in the first drive. Penalties is what took them out of scoring in that very first drive. Penalties took points up on the board. That's the one thing they got to make sure they clean up if they're going to try to win this ball.
Well, it's a 10-point lead for Williamsville South right now, 16-6. They are on top of South Park. The Sparks, however, set to receive the ball at the start of the third quarter. Will South will be kicking to South Park in just a few minutes here, but we're still at halftime. We got a few minutes left before the teams get back on the field. We'll catch up with Will South head coach Craig Krzansky before the start of the third quarter. So stay tuned. We'll take another quick break and be right back for more high school football action here on WNY Athletics.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. we can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love being home.
When you're ready to buy a home, start your search at howardhanna.com. You'll be the first to see new listings, find similar properties, and connect with a local Howard Hanna agent. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
Being home.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com. Ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
I'm with Williamsville South head coach Craig Krasanski. Out of that first half intermission, his team's currently up on South Park 16-6. Coach Krasanski, very good start for you guys. Got the good ground attack going with Christian Dewar. You had a nice bomb from PJ Tasca over to Brett Johnson. We talked about earlier in the week that the run game is going to be very key, but Tasca's done a very good job in the short and intermediate passes and the two big bombs to Brett Johnson. What has he done so well against this pass defense?
He's just taking what they're giving us. They held up to our one receiver side, and so we've been winning there. But I think he's made good throws. He's made good decisions. And when you run the ball well, it's a lot easier to throw it.
Guys have a lot of positives coming out of that first half, but there's always going to be an adjustment heading in the second half. What's a big one for Will South to get this win?
We just need to tighten a little bit on the back end of the defense. I thought we played well in the beginning of the game. We got a little loose at the end of the half. And then we'll just change some protections up because they're bringing a little bit of edge pressure that we have to take care of. So we changed some of our blocking schemes to handle that.
All right, Coach, thank you for your time. Reporting for the sidelines, I'm Jacob Fyack. John Simon, Tom Prince, back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Jake. We're back up here in the booth just a few minutes away from the start of the third quarter between South Park and Williamsville South, as you just saw Jake Fyack there with Craig Krasanski of the Billies. And that's going to be a big key for them, Tom. They played a great first half, held the ball for the majority of the third quarter, got a 16-0 lead built up, but got a little bit lax in the last few minutes, gave up a touchdown. They have to make sure they come out here in the start of the third, keep their foot on the gas, and not let South Park get even more so back into this than they already have late in the second quarter.
You definitely want to see that methodical drive for Will South again, just the way they started off. We want to make sure we see that. So obviously we've seen Jake do some interviews right here. What we want to do is we want to see what Jake's seeing down at field level right there. So let's go ahead and see exactly what Jake is seeing down at field level so far in this game.
Guys, so far throughout this first half, both sidelines has been a complete 180. Going into this matchup between Will South and South Park has done a phenomenal job in the passing game, and right now they've been shut down against this Will South defense, and there hasn't been much talk. A little bit of frustration from that side, whereas from Williamsville South, it's electric, it's exciting. Krasanski's got his team fired up, and everything that they've done so far has been working to perfection. They're going to have to keep it going as the second half goes along, try to get that big league win. They come into this matchup 1-2 overall, 1-2 in their league play as well. They got to get the back 500 to get a big, deep run into the season, try to get a playoff spot. And so far they're doing that. You can tell from the sidelines, they're pretty excited to see that. Guys, back up to you.
Thank you, Jake. And yeah, he makes a great point, Tom. You know, one of the big things Krasinski said was that this team knows how much of a must-win this is. He said South Park knows how much of a must-win tonight's game is. Every game matters, and in this A South division where playoff spots are going to be tough to come by and a good team or two good teams are going to be left out, these games are big. And for a team that lost 2 games early in the season, every game now is a must-win. And they're playing like a team that, while they're having fun, while they're relaxed on that sideline, they're playing like a team that's got their back against the wall right now.
Oh, no doubt. Like I said, this to me right now is a 5-team race in this division.
I think 6 if you include West Seneca West.
Okay. No, I counted West Seneca West as 5.
Yeah, so you got South, Hamburg, Jamestown, South Park, Frontier, and West Seneca West. 6 teams in there out of that 8-team division.
Oh, I apologize. So I wasn't counting one. I must have gone up there. You're absolutely right. 6 teams right now that are going to compete for those 4 spots. So anytime you're going head-to-head with those 6 teams right there, you better get a win, right? These are must-wins already in this season already, with only 4 teams going to be able to make the playoffs.
And you're going to see a lot of movement in this A South division this week because all 8 teams are matched up against each other. This is the lone matchup in the division tonight, but tomorrow night you've got Hamburg and Amherst matching up, of course, West Seneca West and Jamestown, which we'll have for you on WNYathletics.com. And then, of course, Frontier is hosting Williamsville East. So all A South teams playing in division this week, so expect to see a lot of movement within that league.
And, John, look at it already. West Seneca West has a win over South Park, but Frontier's got a win over West Seneca West, right? But Jamestown's got a win over Frontier. It's all over the place as far as who's got wins, which means every time they play, you've got to make sure you're up because it could be the game that knocks you out.
So start of the second half here. Voyer booting this one away. South kicking off to South Park as that one's muffed at the 10-yard line but quickly scooped up. And it's going to be returned up the sideline by Halton. As he's knocked out of bounds, we'll see the South Park offense come back out here. And like I said at the beginning of the broadcast in the first half, Tim Delaney, his club, defending Section 6 Class A champions, they upset Jamestown back in the spring 30-29 to knock off the Red Raiders in that sectional championship game. And that gave the Sparks a little bit of a target on their backs coming into this season, Tom, despite having a lot of new guys, a lot of guys that are seniors now that have been boosted up into senior leadership roles. It took some time for them to adjust, having that target on their back, that defending champion title on them.
They always got it on their back. It's South Park, right? They'll always have that on their back.
So 1st and 10 here, and Fulgham with a big rush up the middle, all the way out to midfield. He's still on his feet. The Billies finally bring him down. But that's a big run to start the half for South Park, 30 yards up the gut. And Pero Fulgham, as we said, continues to bring the energy here for the Sparks tonight.
And what we say, we expected big doses of him, and that's exactly what we get to start off this second half.
Had a rushing touchdown in the final minute of the first half to get points on the board for the Sparks. And there he is again, off to the races across the 30, spins down past the 20. And Fulgham in full form here, 2 big runs, covers 50 yards, almost 60 really, and
John,
that's got South Park inside the 20.
You got to give the offensive line a ton of credit. If you see that hole that's opening up in the middle right there, that's from that offensive line opening that.
Fulgham again, this time gets tripped up. Nice tackle there. And I think that was 63 for Williamsville South, Caleb Kruzicki. Minute gone by here in the third quarter. South Park quickly moving their way into Will South territory. Just a pair of big runs from Pero Fulgham has them knocking on the door of the Billies' end zone. 2nd and 8 here. Willoughby drops back to throw, looks to the right side. That one's tipped up and it's still caught. Jeremy Yancey dives and gets under that one, and what a play to set the Sparks up 1st and goal.
That's like the miraculous reception right there. That's exactly what it looked like. It almost goes in for a touchdown.
So 1st and goal now for the Sparks. They're at the 3-yard line of the Billies. And Willoughby going to try to run it himself. He gets hit, tries to stay on his feet. He's a yard or two short. Will South, nice stop there.
That literally was a tipped play, and he caught it at the fingertips right down at her. Unbelievable. It was like Pittsburgh all over again when I was watching out there.
That was off the hands of Halton and right into the diving Yancey. But it works out for South Park. Now got 2nd and goal. They're at the 2. They're going to hand it off to Fulgham. He's got room to run, and he's able to burst his way in. And that is another South Park touchdown. 2nd of the night for Fulgham. And the Sparks are back in this one. It's a 4-point game.
What a difference. We showed at one point the difference in total yards early in this game when it was about almost 200 to 1, what we saw back there. As you see the yard totals evening up right now, we're just shy of 250 for the Billies, and now 153 yards with about 106 yards on the ground by Fulgham.
Fulgham dialing one up here, and it's caught in the corner of the end zone by Jeremy Yancey. 2 points on the board, and it's a 2-point game now. South in front, 16-14, as the Sparks get the 2-point conversion there. What a throw from Willoughby to Yancey in the back corner. And I don't know what it was, whether it was just that first touchdown at the end of the second or the halftime speech from Delaney, but this South Park offense looks like a completely different group here in the third quarter, Tom.
And the end of the second quarter, right? The end of the first half. That drive that gets them on the board, they continue right where they went, where they left off in the first half, and now we've got ourselves a ball game. Now the question is, does Will South answer? You got to answer right here. Keep the ball in the hands of your running back as well as your quarterback. You got to take time off the clock, get back to what was successful in the first quarter.
Yeah, they had an opening drive that ran over 7.5 minutes off the clock. They went without points, but it certainly set the tone in this game. But since the middle of the second quarter, it has been all South Park in this one, and now a short kick is bobbled, but it looks like the Billies are able to fall on top of it. Tom, that was something they were practicing at Williamsville South Tuesday night when I stopped by to talk to Coach Craig Krzansky. They were having guys field kicks, short, squib ones right around midfield, expecting a situation like that to come up.
That's how the game started, if you remember.
Yeah.
Right? The game started the same exact way, so absolutely scouted it, knew what they were going to expect. The only thing that when you do this at South Park does it, you're giving Will South phenomenal starting field position.
Well, South Park did what they needed to do with that first possession of the second half. They get points on the board, make it a one-score game. And Will South now with a 2-point lead, looking to get back in front by a little bit larger of a margin. Run up the middle there on first down. Not a big one for Zachary. He's stopped for a gain of only about 1.
Holton on the stop on that one for South Park.
And like you said, Tom, this Will South team going to need to find something now as momentum quickly shifted in South Park's favor. 2 straight touchdowns for the Sparks. 14-0 scoring run is not totally erased the 16-0 South lead, but it certainly looks and feels like a slimmer lead now. Almost 3 minutes gone by. They swing this one out to Thompson on second down, and he's forced out of bounds after a 4 or 5 yard gain. So Tasca continuing to spread the ball around. They've used mainly just 2 running backs in Dewar and Zachary, but we've seen a number of receivers get multiple looks already between Thompson and Graves and Johnson and even Evolt. So this South offense, they got a lot of weapons and they like to spread it around. Third down here for the Billies, looking to avoid a quick 3 and out after giving up points on South Park's first drive of the quarter. Need 5 to keep this drive going. That trips to the right side. Tasca gonna fake the handoff, sees pressure, gets rid of it. And that one is caught by Johnson. And he'll be about a yard or 2 short of the first. It'll bring up 4th and short And Tom will see what decision the Billies make here. They got to be in go-for-it territory.
Bringing up a 4th down.
4th and 2 at the South Park 46. And I know we still got about 9 minutes to go in this third quarter, whole quarter to play after. But this is a big play here for the Billies. They could give control of this game back to South Park if they don't keep this drive going. Tasca hands it off. It's Dewar, and he's going to be stopped. South Park's defense comes up big, and they'll get the ball back right around midfield, looking to add on to the momentum that they've been building here in the late second quarter, early second half.
What a momentum shift, if you think about it. And it all started at the very end of the first half with a penalty flag that really went against Will South, and since then it's been all South Park the rest of the way.
Yeah, when Williamsville South, I should say. I can't just say South in this game, because then you might not know who I'm talking about.
True, you're right.
But Williamsville South, when they had that flag negate Dewar's second touchdown run, what would have been his second touchdown run, and they had to settle for that 34-yard field goal from Voyer, that was the turning point. You're right. It's been all South Park since then. Now we get Fulgham on 1st and 10. He's able to scamper ahead. Forward progress might have given him a first down. We'll see where they mark it. Ball might have been knocked loose for a minute. They're calling it Will South football. I did not see the ball come out, Tom, but obviously it did. 3rd turnover of the game for South Park now, and hey, that's a break that the Billies really needed at this point in time.
Oh, no doubt. But I'll tell you, South Park doesn't like it. I think they felt he was down because you can see them all pointing to the ground as it happened. I think they felt he was down, and then that's when the ball came out. But like you said, another momentum shift. Now Will South has got to capitalize on this if they're going to make sure that they give themselves an opportunity to win this game.
They recover the fumble at their own 45. And as Tom said, they get a chance to redeem themselves. The offense last trip out didn't do much. Just 4 plays and out as they turned it over on downs. But South Park's 3rd turnover of the game has given the Billies life. Direct snap to Dewar. And he runs to the right side. He's slowed down and will be brought down by a pack of Spark defenders. No gain there on that run.
And then early on, we've definitely seen the defense right now for South Park really step up, right? They've stopped the run so far early in this second half, and that's been a big difference that we saw compared to the first half.
Now, like I said, I mean, they had a great second half against Will East last Friday, shut the Flames out after giving up 35 points through the first 2 quarters. They held Amherst to 7 points in week 2 in a big 48-7 win for South Park. So their defense certainly on a good run right now, and they're playing well since giving up those 2 early touchdowns. 2nd and 9 run. Up the middle goes Zachary, and that'll make it 3rd and more manageable. Looks like about 5 or 6 needed for the first down.
But we did talk about one of the positives we saw for Will South, right? Take time off the clock.
Right.
Keep the clock moving. That's something that was in their favor the entire first half. And this is that drive that's starting to happen as we see time getting ticked off on this one. But a much-needed first down right here.
Yeah, and I know that their lead is slimmer than it was earlier in this game, but they were even doing the run and chew the clock strategy before they got a lead. They were doing that when it was 0-0. 3rd and 5, Tasca looking to throw, completes it to Thompson. Got just enough for the first down, and that is a big one for the Billies. They move the sticks and are inside South Park territory.
Like you said, big first down right there. Complete the 3rd and 5 right now. I guarantee we're going to come out, see more run right here is what you'll do. Keep the clock moving. This is exactly what Will South recipe was to win this game.
Exactly 7 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter.
And we heard it was exactly what Coach thought he was going to see, right? We heard it. It said he's going to slow the game down, and he's doing that. He knows that he needs that to have the recipe to win.
Yeah, if you saw our pregame video, just snippets of interviews on Tuesday with Tim Delaney of South Park, Craig Krasansky of Will South, and Delaney said it himself as there we see a run for Thompson. Couple of flags being thrown in the Billies' backfield, as that's a gain of about 15 for Jeremy Thompson, but we'll see if it's brought back. But like we said, Delaney knew from the start, even a few days ago, Will South's going to run, look to keep our offense off the field, chew clock. And they've done it well in spurts so far tonight.
Like I said, really the only big negative that we've talked about for Will South is what we're talking about right here, is the flags.
Yeah.
And they've come at such inopportune times, right? A touchdown taken off. The very first drive, as they're driving, it looked like they were going to go in for a touchdown. You had a flag come back, right? And then when they were deep and had to go for a long throw, that's when the sack came into play, right? It was the flags that have really affected this game and field position for Will South.
The South Park defense looking to liven up the crowd here at All High a little bit on 1st and 25. And the fans are reciprocating the request. 6:40 and running here in quarter number 3. Will South leading South Park 16-14 in this Week 4 Section 6 Class A matchup. Will South looking to get up to 500, 2-2 on the season. South Park looking to avoid falling to 500 as they currently hold a 2-1 record. As now we have the clock stopped at 6:40 for some reason. And it looks like now the officials are ready to go. 1st and 25 from their own 40. South puts the receiver in motion. Tasca takes the snap, looks down the left side for Johnson, and that one's intercepted. Tasca's pass was floated up in the air looking for Johnson, and Amar Falk, or no, it's Pero Fulgham. No, it is Falk. I saw Falk and Fulgham next to each other.
Yeah, it was Falk.
They got the same number, but Amar Falk is the one to go up and get the pick, and that one was much needed for South Park. It basically negates the fumble a few plays ago, and the Sparks get the ball back here, still down just 2.
But boy, the South Park defense has been totally different so far here in the second half. Here comes the turnover that they needed. Now they're going to look again, planning on seeing big doses right here early of Fulgham, as he's been big so far here in the second half.
So 2 interceptions tonight for Willoughby, 1 for Tasca, and 4 the South quarterback. That's his 4th interception of the season. And it gives South Park the ball here at their own 35. They're going to hand that one off to Keeley on the end around, but he's got nowhere to go. Kelly, excuse me. That'll be a loss of a couple yards. And that's one thing, Tom. I mean, they've given up a couple touchdowns to Fulgham in that little stretch between late second, early third. But when they've really needed to most of the time tonight, South's defense has come up with big stops to kind of cool momentum of South Park when they've needed to.
Oh, yeah, and especially here in the second half. I mean, they've really done a good job of stopping Will South.
Loss of 4 on that last play. Willoughby looking to go in through the air on this one, and just a few yards ahead of Polk was that throw. And that's just one thing that South Park hasn't been able to do tonight, even when their offense has come together, Tom. The passing game hasn't been able to find a rhythm yet.
Yeah, like you said, is they really haven't had the ball very much.
That's
you know what
true.
I mean? To get in that rhythm. If you think about it, even when they've had the ball, it's been Fulgham that's busted out for some huge runs and really made it so the passing game wasn't needed.
Yeah, it's just crazy. You look at Willoughby's stat line coming into tonight through 3 games this season. 56 for 84, 1,106 yards, 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. That's in just 3 games for this sophomore quarterback, as you see him now getting wrapped up and sacked on 3rd and 14, a couple flags being thrown. We'll see what that does, but, I mean, just his impressive first 3 games passing the ball, and tonight virtually just not doing anything against this Will South team. I mean, I know he's a sophomore, he's still growing, a lot to learn, but this Will South defense has come to play. And that's going to be a penalty against South Park. It will be declined. So 4th down coming up for the Sparks, and they're deep in their own end, Tom. Got to expect a punt here.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, you can't, especially, it's not like it's a 4th and short, right? You really have to go long. No doubt that they're going to go ahead and kick this one.
So it's 4th and 18 for the 19 for the Sparks. Billy's got pair of returners back around their own 35. It's Dewar and Thompson. Snap is good. South Park gets the punt away. It's a short one, though, as that's going to land and take a bad bounce back the Sparks' way as they down that inside the 35. So, Tom, 5.5 to go here in the third quarter, just a 2-point lead. This is as good a time as any for the Billies offense with this great starting spot to take control back in this one, maybe get some more points back on the board.
If you remember back in the first quarter, the second drive, we're at the same point where they were in the second drive. We said listen, they have to put points on the board. You can't keep not putting points on the board with great field position and think that you're going to keep stopping this potent offense of South Park. Same thing again. You put yourself in this spot, you got to put points up on the board to be able to win this ball game.
1st and 10 at the Sparks 34. Will South looking to find some rhythm that they had on offense in the first half. Dewar with a nice run up the middle on first down. Picks up about 6 or 7 on that carry. Dewar had the first touchdown of the night for the Billies, a 1-yard run back in the second quarter. Almost had a second touchdown run from about 15 yards out, but that was wiped out due to a flag, and it eventually became a field goal for Max Voyer. You're going to see trips at the bottom of your screen to the left of Tasca. Senior quarterback making some changes at the line. Quick throw. That one's tipped and nearly intercepted. A late flag thrown as well in the defense.
This will be interesting because that was deep right there. That's something normally you see from like a passing interference standpoint, but that was a tipped ball. So will that even come into play? So I'm curious to see what this flag is.
And we'll see what the officials call. And
they're picking it up.
Yeah, so no penalty called.
And I think that's because of the tip ball, John, is what it was.
So I'll bring up 3rd down for Will South. And that's really been one nagging thing for this offense, at least this half. They just had quick possessions. They've had chances to hold the ball, run some time down, and just have had trouble picking up first downs. Tasca looks to throw to the right side. That one's complete to Graves, and he had enough for the first down after being pushed back a little bit. But that'll move the sticks Williamsville South. I'm telling you, I'm going to keep doing that. South Park and Will South. You can't just say South tonight. Will South able to move the sticks there. Inside 4:30 to play in the third quarter. And they are just outside the South Park red zone here, looking to get their first touchdown since the 10:18 mark of the second quarter. They obviously got points from Voyer with the field goal late in the first half, but been quite some time since the Billies found the end zone in this one. Tasca hands it off, and a short run for Dewar up the middle.
And, John, they're almost in field goal range. This is right about where he kicked the first field goal from, right? So, I mean, you got to at least say is you're in range to at least put points up on the board, right? Because even, like I said, even field goals right now could be big and could be the difference, especially when you're going for 2-point conversions, right? And if they miss 2-point conversions and it's only 6, boy, those field goals could really come into play.
And the other thing we've talked about, even when the score was 0-0, South's strategy was run the ball, hold it, keep possession, run time off, keep South Park's offense off the field. And that's a goal that they're still accomplishing right now. Every second that they run off with the ball and having the lead is a win for Will South tonight. 2nd and 10. They hand it off. I believe that's Dewar again, and it's another short gain.
Antonio Big Body Halton comes up with the stick.
1-yard gain for Dewar. Halton on the stop.
Bringing up 3rd down for the Billies.
So, again, another big 3rd down. This is longer, though, right? 3rd and 9, but you're definitely in the position where you could go on 4th down, but I won't be surprised. You at least want to get something here to help your field goal kicker out.
Yeah, if they were to go for a field goal, Tom, it'd be an interesting choice. Would still keep it at a one-score game. It would only make it a 5-point lead for Will South. So I'd be interested to see if Krasansky, given the opportunity to make that choice, would he try and go for the 3 points or just try and keep the drive going and make it a 2-score game. And they're going to talk things over here on third down. Timeout called by Williamsville South. We'll take a quick timeout as well. 2:24 to go in the third quarter. We'll be right back for more high school football action here on WNY Athletics.
When you're ready to your search at howardhanna.com, you'll be the first to see new listings, find similar properties, and connect with a local Howard Hanna agent. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
Being home.
Call 835-WOLF. Remember, you calling the Wolf. That's all you had to say. Call today.
When you're ready to buy a home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com. You can find new listings before they appear anywhere else and refine your search for immediate notifications of similar properties. Plus, get pre-qualified to make your offer stronger and connect with a local Howard Hanna agent who knows your area and how to close the deal. So when you're ready to buy, visit howardhanna.com and find your home fast.
Welcome back to WMIathletics.com. 3rd and 10 here for Will South, and Tasca hits Dewar in the front corner of the end zone. We're waiting for the signal from the officials, and they're going to mark him down at the 1-yard line. Sorry we caught you back late from the break there. Out of the timeout, Will South dials up a big play through the air as P.J. Tasca connects with Christian Dewar, and the Billies are now down at the South Park 1.
Boy, what an answer right there, right? Tasca, though, has been big. When he's gone to the passing game right there, he has hit his man almost every single time. Tasca comes up big again.
1st and goal from the 1. They've got Zachary in the backfield to Tasca's left. They're going to hand it to the big back. He's going to go up the middle, and he's going to cross the plane, it looks. We get the official signal, and that's a touchdown for Will South. And the Billies go back up by 8. Extra point will make it a 2-score game, Tom.
Wow, that's a big answer right there. That's exactly what we talked about Will South having to do, and they come up big right there. That's a big touchdown right there. Now you flip it, and South Park's got to come up with an answer to make sure they stay in the game.
So Nathaniel Zachary with the 1-yard touchdown run there. That's his 3rd rushing score of the season. And it again gives South an 8-point lead over South Park. Max Voyer now on for the extra point. He had this first one blocked tonight. Second one was good. Also made a field goal back in the second quarter. And he is now 2 for 3 on point afters as he drills that one through the uprights. So it's a 9-point lead for the Billies as we're here late in the third quarter. 23-14, they lead South Park.
Boy, I mean, that's the answer you need to have, right? And it's the first answer we've really seen from Will South in the second half right here, as South Park has come up big defensively right there so far in the second half until that drive right there. But Tasca on point. He's been huge in this game, acting like that veteran quarterback and showing that he's one of the top quarterbacks in the area.
And Will South, they gave the ball away on their drive before that touchdown as Amar Polk was able to pick off Tasca, but the defense recovered. They picked the offense up. They got a big stop that was needed, quickly got the ball back, and the offense capitalized and were able to finish it off with points there. Like we said, getting a 2-score lead back and putting the ball, metaphorically speaking, in South Park's court.
Good
we're
metaphor
obviously
there,
we're not in basketball season just yet. It is a cold one tonight here at All High. We're getting into brisk fall weather here.
Well, we are in fall now too, right?
That's right. I said to you earlier, no matter when I come to All High Stadium, it doesn't matter what time of the year it is, as that kick rolls out of bounds. It's always cold here.
So in other words, don't invite you to any more all-high games.
No, I love doing games here.
I just meant cold weather is all that I meant.
That's right. But no, I mean, I've gotten to do some great games here over the years. I mean, there was 3 years ago, I think, 2018 season, Bennett and Lancaster had a absolute shootout here. Game finished, both teams in the 30s or 40s. I've gotten to do a number of great games here over the last few years. Saw some great games here, even in high school. When I attended Sweet Home, we played a couple of Far West regional games here against Aquinas and Eastridge. So All High Stadium is near and dear to my high school football heart.
And I'm teasing you. I just meant from a weather standpoint. That's all. Listen, we want you on the call all the time. I mean, no doubt. But I was just teasing you from a weather standpoint.
Well, we're in the box, so I can't complain too much. I mean, our Jake Fyock, BJ, even Russ, those guys are out in the elements battling through the real thick of it. But 1st and 10 for South Park from their own 35 here as Peril Fulgham with a highlight reel run. Picks up about 12 on that carry and picks up a first down.
On the stop for Will South was number 54, Luke Capola on that one.
Capola putting together a strong season for the Billies, one of the top tacklers on that group. 1st and 10 for South Park from the 46 on their side of the 50. Willoughby looking to throw here on 1st down. Goes across the field. It's tipped and intercepted into the hands of Thompson. He's got nothing but green grass in front of him. He's going to take it back all the other way for the South touchdown. Jeremy Thompson takes it all the way back for the Billies. Their 3rd interception of the game. 4th forced turnover, and their lead is up to 15 now as the Billies are on top 29-14 late here in the 3rd.
Wow, big momentum shift right there. Give also credit to Jeff Elvid on that one, right? As he tips that one and gets the ball, as you saw, over to number 7, Jeremy Thompson, for that interception. But the tip to the interception, and again, Will South does what it needs to get more points on the board and that lead that they needed.
So once again, we've got Max Voyer out for the extra point attempt, 2 for 3 so far, along with a made field goal. Good snap, good hold, and a good kick. So that makes it a 16-point lead. Just a minute ago, Tom, it was 16-14 Will South, and in the blink of an eye, it's a 16-point lead, 30-14. Billy's on top with a minute and a half to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I mean, well, like you just said, it was a minute, right? You want to talk about complete momentum change right there. It's right now all in the momentum of Will South. Remember, this is about what we saw, 16-0 in the first half. Things change very quickly just on a special teams play by South Park. We're back at that point right now. End of the 3rd quarter. It was the end of the first half. Now South Park's got to answer right here and do it quickly.
And it's so funny, Tom, just because of how good of the last 2 weeks this South Park offense has had. I mean, 48 points against Amherst, 64 against Will East last week. No turnovers, I believe. There were definitely no interceptions in either of those games. But now 4 turnovers tonight, 3 interceptions, and virtually 3 of those 4 interceptions leading, or 3 or 4 of those 4 turnovers leading to points for Williamsville South as we get a whistle here on the kickoff. They'll have to redo it. But what a game night for Will South. They had a little bit of a lapse where Fulgham had those back-to-back touchdown runs in the late 2nd quarter, early 3rd. But the majority of this game tonight, Williamsville South has come into all high, and they have shown that they are the more prepared and better team here.
You know, and I don't even want, sometimes just the team really wants to make that statement. They've needed that statement game for their program. That's what Will South is looking for. They're looking for that statement win, that big win that they really needed. Think about they fall down pretty big to Jamestown, come rearing back in the second half, almost provide one of the biggest upsets we've seen this year. They know they're capable of it, but they needed to do it in one big game, and that's what they're trying to do right here.
And that interception return touchdown for Thompson is his 3rd interception of the year, not interception touchdown, just third pick of the year. That's the most of anybody on the Billies. And it might be the biggest touchdown of the game for them. Gives them a ton of breathing room, 16-point lead here. And Tom, like you said, they're trying to make a statement. They lost their first 2 games, so they know that everything from here on out is a must-win. It's going to be hard to make the playoffs, even at 6-2, or albeit 5-3. But they've played Jamestown. They've played Frontier. They've got the defending sectional champions on the field with them tonight. So Will South getting their big games out of the way. And if they could get it to be 500 at the midway point, I think they would certainly take that. As we get a short kick and a nice return here from South Park's, I believe that was Giovanni Pagan, 22. And that'll give them a good starting spot on offense. They're going to be at the Will South 40 here.
The same thing, right? You answered again. Great return. Give yourself good field position. Now a minute and 19 is almost nothing. You can score in that time and try to make your answer still right here in the third quarter.
Their offense, when it got going, it was due to the run game. Peril Fulgham, a couple of rushing touchdowns, really got the sparks going at the start of the second half when he had a couple big runs in the third quarter. Had back-to-back 30-yard rushes. Finished that drive off with a score. They're going to need something here from number 1 in black or from Willoughby, the sophomore quarterback. He's been quiet tonight, looking to dial up one deep here, and that one's caught.
There's the ball to the left side.
I believe that's Antonio Halton on the far side, but a flag's been thrown back by the line of scrimmage, and we'll see if this catch is brought back.
It is.
And that's a big blow for South Park, Tom. Holding call against the Sparks, and they could have really used that big chunk of yards.
What a great play. What an answer you'd be talking about right there. Think about that. Every time they've gone down by 16, they've come up with that answer right there, and almost does it again, because you think right down there, if you would have been down at that, what was it, the 17, 18-yard line down there, then you would have had a heavy dust of Fulgham to try to go into the end zone.
And they would have probably cut it back to a one-score game before the end of the quarter. But now...
And remember, it could be because they're going to go for 2. You already know that. They're going to go for 2 every time, so it could have easily been an 8 right there.
So this is a loss, it looks like, of about 17. They're going to play this one from the South Park 43. They got to get to the Will South 30 for a first down. It's 1st and 27. And that's going to be a run for Fulgham and no gain. Will South right there for the stop. I don't care how many times it happens. I'm going to keep saying South, and people are just going to have to guess at some point which side I'm talking about.
On that tackle for Will South was number 14, Brett Johnson on that one.
Johnson having a nice night on both sides of the ball for the Billies. 30 seconds to play in the third quarter. Willoughby looking over the middle. That pass complete. And Halton still running with it as he's able to get back to the original line of scrimmage at the Will South 40.
That was about 7-8 yards after initial contact right there. Does a great job of carrying the defenders right there and now making this a manageable third down. As we're going to see this tick down, it's probably going to be the last play of the quarter.
And Antonio Halton, who made that catch, not a surprise, Tom. He dragged a couple of defenders with him. 6'3", 210-pound senior, making the nice run after the catch there. But as you said, that brings us to the end of the third quarter. Through 36 minutes here, we are at 30-14, Will South over South Park. Let's go down to Jacob Fyack for a report from the sideline.
Quarter, South Park trying to come back. They cut the lead down to 2, and then you have big 2 touchdowns from Williamsville South. Nathaniel Zachary punching in the end zone, and then a pick 6 from Jeremy Thompson. Heading into this game, he had all the interceptions on the team. 2 entering this game. He got his 3rd on the night, adding 2 more to the defensive side. Once again, it's been very consistent on Will South's side of the, on their side of the bench. They've done a phenomenal job getting fired up, trying to stay motivated, trying to keep this momentum going. They have a bit of a scare when South Park cut down to 2, but right now they're just blowing them out as we are about a couple minutes from ending, starting the fourth quarter. Guys, back to you.
Thank you very much, Jake. We appreciate your reports from the sideline. We'll check back in again with Jake after the game as he'll pull the coach from the winning side, and we'll get their post-game thoughts and reaction. So start of the fourth quarter, 3rd and 10 for South Park here from the Williamsville South 30. Pressure here. Willoughby able to escape it. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, but he's brought down. Nathaniel Zachary in there for Williamsville South, along with number 70, Matthew Murphy. And the pair of seniors there able to bring down Willoughby. That'll bring up 4th down for South Park. It's 4th and 9, and they're inside Will South's 40, so the Sparks going to go for it here. 11:30 and counting to play in this one, down 16. They're going to keep the offense on the field, look to keep this drive alive as they look to salvage this game here in the fourth quarter. Trips to the right side of Willoughby. He drops back, looks to throw that way. It's complete over the middle. Able to connect with Halton as he's spun forward. That's a first down for South Park, and maybe the biggest of the night for the Sparks. As if they would have taken the offense off the field, given the ball back to Will South there, Billy's could have run a lot of time off the clock and delivered a final dagger before we even reached the final 5 minutes. A little over a minute gone by here in the fourth quarter. Willoughby dialing up one deep down the right side. It's incomplete, but a flag is thrown. Looks like we're going to get interference here against the Billies. So that'll help South Park out, move the ball a little further down the field. It was nice defense until the interference call, but might have prevented a touchdown grab. This will put the Sparks inside the red zone. We'll have it at the 16 of Williamsville South. Looks like, no, it's going to be inside the 15. This will be 1st and 10 from the 13 of the Billies. South Park's 2 touchdowns tonight, both rushing scores from Peril Fulgham. One came in the late second quarter, other early in the third. They were able to cut the deficit to 2, but now find themselves back down 16. Fulgham with the carry this time. Runs out to the right side for a short gain before being knocked out of bounds. Clock stopped at 10:37. I'll bring up 2nd down and 5.
2nd down and 5.
So now we got trips to the left side of Willoughby. One receiver up top to the right. He'll look to throw. He's going to go to that right side, up in the air, and that one incomplete. Just a little too high for his intended target. And I believe that was Halton again that he was looking for. Bring up 3rd down.
And you're at that point, like we already know, they got 2 chances at this, right? They're going to go for it. We already know on 4th down. But 2 chances right here to get a first down. I expect one of these are going to be a run, and then you look to see where you're at after that one.
It's Yancey on the far side. It's going to be Fulgham, though, on 3rd and 5. He runs one, and it looks like he got enough for the first down. He's still on his feet. Did he get enough for the touchdown?
He did.
And they do rule a touchdown. Peril Fulgham keeps the wheels turning and powers his way in. And that gets South Park back in this one. It's a 10-point deficit, 30-20. Will South on top.
John, this 2-point conversion is big because right now is you make this a 1-possession game if you go ahead and get this. If you don't, now you're still talking about a 2-possession game in favor of Will South. Special teams are going to be huge right here. Who wins the battle of special teams right here to make this a 1 or 2-point possession?
So South Park going to go for 2 here. 2 receivers to each side of Willoughby. He's got Fulgham right next to him. Looks to throw. He completes it over the middle. 2 more points on the board for the Sparks. And it's back to a 1-possession game. Is Antonio Halton able to reel in that one?
That's a big job right there. big 2-point, big answer by South Park. Every time they've gone down by that 16 mark, almost immediately have come back and answered, and we now got ourselves a ball game again.
30-22, Will South on top. And South Park will get ready to kick it back to the Billies here in just a moment.
Wow, this has been a game. You know, a lot of times, John, we talk about, like, will a game live up to it, right? We said this is going to be a good game. We knew this was going to be a battle.
Oh, yeah.
Do they live up to it every single time? No, of course not. This is living up to it. We got ourselves a game right here.
Yeah, I was ringing the bell to have us here 2 weeks ago when I was talking to Frank Wolf about where we should send our teams for week 4. I was like, that Thursday night South Park Will South matchup, that is a can't miss. And we got ourselves set up for an exciting final 10-21 here at All High. Could even be more, folks. I don't want to jinx anything, but could certainly see extra time in this one. Fulgham's third touchdown of the game. A 7-yard rushing score has us separated by just 8 on the scoreboard here. Short kick for South Park again, and Williamsville South able to cleanly field that one right around their own 45.
Looks like that was Griffin Utz on the recovery right there.
And Fulgham with a 3-touchdown game tonight. 7 now for the senior running back for South Park in the last 2 games. He had 4 against Williamsville East last week, and he's up to 10 now this season.
And what he's doing as far as yards after contact, right? Is
yeah,
really
for a
what
little guy, too.
He's just battled for some yards, and you can see he'd get hit, and those legs do not stop. He keeps driving, and he gets himself more and more and more yards, and that's the reason for that touchdown right there, because it looked like he had been stopped 5 yards before it.
Speaking of rushing the ball, that's something that Williamsville South has done very well tonight. The first quarter, they basically had possession the entire 12 minutes. As they're going to run it with Dewar here on 1st and 10. Gets a nice gain. Stays in bounds, too. So that'll keep the clock running. That is what Williamsville South wants to do in this game. Their sideline knows it. South Park's sideline knows it. And that strategy has even been amped up to another degree here in the 4th quarter with them holding an 8-point lead, Tom.
Oh, no doubt about it. And you can actually see Dewar cut in, so he made sure he didn't go out of bounds, too. Did you see that?
Yeah. And they did stop the clock now, so maybe he did go out of bounds, Tom. They stopped it at 9:53, but 2nd and 1 for Will South. Tasca hands it off to Nate Zachary. Initially got stopped up the middle, but it looks like he got enough for the first. That'll move the chains. And that is what South wants to do right now. Of course, they want to eventually end the drive with points, I would think, make the lead a little bit more comfortable, more cushiony again. But they want to take as much time off as they can with this ball.
But, John, they have something in their back pocket that a lot of teams in Western New York don't have. That's a field goal kicker.
That's true.
Right? And right now, with an 8-point game, that field goal kicker puts you at 2 different, scoring possessions
Certainly.
away. So that is big, having that field goal kicker right now on your team.
Yeah, Voyer already drilled a 34-yarder tonight. It gave them a 16-0 lead, I should say, back in the 2nd quarter. 3 for 4 on extra point kicks this evening. Dewar now on 1st and 10, gets a nice burst up the middle, and he's able to pick up about 8 on that run. We talk all night about Peril Fulgham, his talent, but Christian Dewar, one of the more underrated backs, I think, in all of Western New York. I've seen him a few times last year, a couple times this year now. I mean, every game I see him, he's against a big runner from the other side. Earlier this season it was Jalen Butera of Jamestown. Last year it was, one of the guys from Sweet Home. It wasn't Jamel Lucas. Tyrell Laws, I think. Yeah, that's who it was. Tyrell Laws from Sweet Home. So he always seems to be overshadowed by an opponent. But Christian Dewar, man, he's a gamer. Every time I see him, he has a good night.
Nasca doing the same thing at quarterback.
And Tasca's going to hold it here. Going to keep it on the fake handoff. He gets the first down and does a nice job hanging on to the ball there, Tom. Did you see that? South Park trying to strip it out of the QB's hands, but he goes down and maintains possession.
he's done the same thing, right? Nasca going against a quarterback right now with the #1 stats in Western New York.
Right.
And he's got out there and been pinpoint tonight, hitting his receivers exactly where they needed to be for either big passing plays or touchdowns.
Yeah, he was making some nice throws in Williamsville South practice on Tuesday night when I dropped by. You know, didn't have the best of games earlier this year against Frontier. And even last week against Amherst, didn't have eye-popping numbers. Just 9 of 13, 113 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. But he has had a very nice game here tonight against South Park. Run for Nate Zachary on 1st and 10, and he's brought down to the right side. Don't think he got anything on that one.
Remember, that Frontier defense is for real.
Yeah.
Holding Jamestown to only 20 points. Butera has, his lowest amount total with only 150 yards, though, right? Still, or I think it was 135 yards to be exact. But finally somebody that slowed down Butera just a little bit.
Approaching 7 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Will South clinging on to an 8-point, 30-22 lead over South Park. Class A South Division matchup tonight at All High. Week 4 Thursday night football action here on WNY Athletics. And now we get a flag thrown back in the secondary.
It's going to be a delay game.
And that'll go against the Billies.
Another flag, though, right?
Yeah, that offense has taken probably 8 penalties tonight.
Every time they have a great drive, some sort of penalty does something in here.
So I'll make it for 2nd and 15. Billies at their own, or at the South Park 35. Tasca looks to throw. He's got Johnson down the right side, but that one well out of bounds. Bring up 3rd down. And as we mentioned, tomorrow night we'll be bringing you another Class A South Division matchup as West Seneca West will be hosting the Jamestown Red Raiders. Jamestown looking to stay undefeated and improve to 3-0 in the league, 4-0 overall. And West Seneca West looking to get back up to 500. They currently sit at 1-2 after beating South Park back in their season opener. We get a timeout called on the field. Will South going to talk things over as they look at a 3rd and 15. We'll take a quick timeout as well. Be right back for more football action here on WNY Athletics.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com. Ranked the #1. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
Call 835-WOLF. Remember, you calling the Wolf, that's all you had to say. Call today.
When you're ready to buy a home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com. You can find new listings before they appear anywhere else and refine your search for immediate notifications of similar properties. Plus, get pre-qualified to make your offers stronger.
Welcome back to WNY Athletics. Fourth quarter action between Will South and South Park here at All High Stadium. The Billies looking at a 3rd and 15 as they're able to find Thompson, but the ball's loose. It's on the turf. It looks like South Park might have it.
Billies attempt the screen pass.
And we'll see how the officials sort this out.
No, it's going to stay Will South ball, it looks like.
So the Billies hang on to it. It's 4th down now. And I don't think they're not really in field goal range, and they're not in punting range either. So this is a tough decision, Tom. It's 4th and long, and they might have to go for it.
They actually, if you remember, in the first half had a very similar scenario, and they went for it, remember? Remember it was tipped and then knocked out on that play? Very similar. It was almost, a short pass out into the out is what it was. Real short, but it was tipped. And then it had great field position for South Park to go ahead and take over. You remember early in the first half.
So 4th and 15 for Williamsville South. 6 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter as they hold on to an 8-point lead. Tasca dropping back, looks over the middle, and he's intercepted. Was looking for Thompson, but it's picked off and ran back to about the 45. And that was Peril Fulgham once again. His second interception of the game. And that gives South Park the ball back, down 8 with a little less than 6 to play.
I think we got a player down on the field, John, for South Park. We can't see who it is because of the sideline for Will South, but it looks like we got a player down right now for South Park.
So with that injury, we will take a quick timeout, and we'll be right back. South Park going to get the ball back in just a moment. Stay tuned here on WY Athletics.
Paul Wolf Agency, how can I help?
I got a problem. I got a big problem. The house flooded overnight, everything's destroyed, and I don't know what to do.
You can relax. The wolf is on his way.
What's the damage?
It's bad.
As opposed to good? It's 20 minutes away. I'll be there in 10.
You're Teddy?
Yes, sir.
I'm Paul Wolf. I solve problems.
Oh, good, because I got a big one in here.
May I come in?
Absolutely. Mr. Wolf, can I get you a cup of coffee?
When you're ready to buy a home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com. You can find new listings before they appear anywhere else and refine your search for immediate notifications of similar properties. Plus, get pre-qualified to make your offers stronger and connect with a local Howard Hanna agent who knows your area and how to close the deal. So when you're ready to buy, visit howardhanna.com and find your home fast.
I love being home.
Welcome back to WY Athletics. Fourth quarter action here between South Park and Williamsville South at All High Stadium. John Simon, Tom Prince bringing you the call here in this Class A South Division matchup. Will South currently leading 30-22, but South Park with the ball here with 5:53 to play in the fourth. They're starting this drive at their own 45-yard line, and they're looking to even this thing up. Willoughby hands it off to Fulgham on 1st and 10. He's got some room to run along the right side. Past the 30 now, across the 25 and knocked out of bounds. Huge run from Fulgham there, another one, as he's just constantly injected life into this South Park offense when it's most needed.
Want to make sure that Damari Johnson, that's who was down on that. Hope he's okay as he went off the field on that last play. So Damari, hope you're okay and get back on that field quick. But you said it, Fulgham has been phenomenal today. He really has put this South Park team on his back, not only on the offense, but on the defense too.
Had an interception just a moment ago, his first of the night, second for South Park. Amar Polk had the first one back in the third quarter, but Fulgham had the interception just a few plays ago. It got the ball back for South Park and now has them right around the Will South 25.
On the tackle was number 63, Caleb Kruzicki, the senior middle linebacker, 5'10", 205-pounder.
Looks to be about 2nd and 7 here for South Park as we near 5 minutes to play. Willoughby drops back, looks to throw, and that one's intercepted. It's going back the other way for Williamsville South. It's Max Graves. He's got nothing but green grass in front of him, and that's going to be another pick 6 for the Billies.
What do you say but wow on that one? He goes up, gets it, and then he sees nothing but clear daylight from there. Will South comes up big again defensively to give their team another lead, to stay in the front right here, to stop South Park, who was driving right there to tie the ball game.
A 75-yard interception return, touchdown for Max Graves. Williamsville South's second pick 6 here in the second half. And Tom, that might be the final nail in the coffin the Billies needed. It's a 2-score game. And that one is a dagger.
It's still 5 minutes left in this one, a lot of time, and we know this South Park team can score quick. Still, this is a ball game, no doubt about it, but boy, defensively, you got to give South Park credit. Every time they've needed that big stop, they've gotten it tonight. They really have.
Well, looks like South going to go for the 2-point conversion here. Will South has kicked extra points after every touchdown, but they're going to look to make this a 16-point game, and now they get South Park player to jump off sides.
And this is what they're doing here. This is smart because they know that South Park's going to go for it 2 points every single time. So this is big. They're trying to make it a 16-point, which makes South Park a must, has to convert those 2-point conversions on both scores if they get to that point.
Well, it's 5 turnovers now for the South Park offense, 4 of them interceptions. Rough night for Noah Willoughby, sophomore quarterback for the Sparks. Had 2 straight games with no interceptions, has thrown 10 touchdowns through weeks 2 and 3 coming into tonight. Threw 3 interceptions week 1 against West Seneca West. Now has thrown 4 tonight, 2 of them going back for touchdowns. Real rough night, but a big growing experience for the sophomore play caller. As we get a run up the middle for the 2-point conversion, and they get it. So South extends the lead to 16, and the Billies lead 38-22 with exactly 5 minutes to play.
Ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder, if you plan to pick your student athlete up after the game, you will need to do so on the far side of the field. Those student athletes are
So 2 pick-6 touchdowns for Williamsville South have the Billies in the driver's seat here in the 4th quarter. You had Jeremy Thompson's 70-yard return back in the late stages of the 3rd, and then another 70-yard plus run back from Max Graves. Like I said, 4 interceptions total tonight for the Williamsville South defense, 2 going back for touchdowns. They recovered a fumble as well. And that has just been the downfall of this South Park team tonight. Too many turnovers.
So far, every time Will South has gone up like this, South Park has answered special teams-wise, right? So here's a big special teams again. Can they answer to get their team good field position and try to make another answer with still 5 minutes left to go?
So now they're going to kick it off to South Park. They're going to keep it low and on the ground, but it's still fielded from inside the 10. And they're going to get a nice return there, but Will South able to control Kelly on that run as he's taken out right around the 25.
And that was Zachary who gets him out of bounds right there and does what he needs to do. Will South stop that big return right there and giving South Park that phenomenal field position. Now can the defense come up big again like they've been doing all night long?
I mentioned it earlier, but this South Park offense last week, 64 points against Will East in the victory, 588 total yards, 451 of those coming in the passing game. And it's been a completely different story tonight. Huge credit to the Williamsville South defense. And Tom, they're really, I think, I know you said it's still a game, but I feel like if they get one more stop here, maybe 2, they can feel pretty confident about coming out of All High tonight with a victory. But 1st and 10 for South Park. They're at their own 26. Willoughby going to throw here on 1st down, looking to go deep right away. And that one is incomplete. Nice defense there. I believe that was Graves on the far side there in coverage. Or it actually was number 20, Jeff Evelt. But brings up 2nd and 10.
They were neck and neck, but you know what I do love about this no matter what, right? You've got a quarterback who, like you said, is a sophomore and really is fearless throwing the ball, which you want, right? You want to think he's going to come out and make that great play all the time. He's going to get better and better and better as he keeps getting older on in this season.
Hands it off to Fulgham there on 2nd down. Doesn't get much of a gain, but there are flags on the field. We'll see how the officials call this. It's a hold against South Park. So that'll make them replay second down. Last update I got from Star Point was that the Spartans were still up on North Tonawanda 27-6 in the second
I think
half.
I had a 33-6 update on that Star Point game.
One of 3 games going on tonight in Section 6. Also, of course, have ours going on.
Yeah, 33-6 Star Point in the end of third, last update.
Ball's incomplete there on 2nd and 21. We'll bring up 3rd and long for South Park. So as I said, if the score holds up in this one, Will South will improve to 2-2 on the season and be winners of 2 straight. South Park will drop to 2-2. And both of them will be right in the middle of the pack of that A South division. 3rd and 21 here for South Park. Getting down to the last few plays before it might be too late for the Sparks. Willoughby over the middle, and that one's intercepted. 5th pick of the game for the Will South defense. That time it's Timothy Hateman, and that could be the dagger that the Billies wanted there. 4:17 to play, they get the ball back, and that is the 6th turnover from South Park. As we get a whistle, there's a Sparks receiver down on the field. So with that injury timeout, we'll take a quick break as well and be right back for more action here on WMY Athletics.
When it's time to sell your home, start with .com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love being home.
Welcome back to WMY Athletics. 4th quarter action here at All High Stadium between Williamsville South and South Park. And right now, 4:17 to go in this game, and the Billies looking to hang on here and improve to 2-2 on the season and get a much-needed win on the road against their division rivals in the South Park Sparks. John Simon, Tom Prince bringing the call. We're in an injury timeout as one of the South Park receivers still being worked on by the Billies sideline.
But boy, this is, like you said, is now it really muddies the water inside this division. It just shows that any of these 6 teams have a shot at going to the playoffs. We're not going to know about this division, who the 4 teams are, until absolutely last week of the season. There's no doubt about it.
There's one you might know. Jamestown, I think we're pretty set. But no, I mean, they've been given some
know.
games too.
There could be 1 or 2 hiccups along the line there. You know what I mean? Like, anything can happen in one football game. It really can. And who knows what's going to happen. So do I think that Jamestown's there? Absolutely, I do. But let's see what happens. And in that North Division, I love what I'm seeing from Grand Island. I think we're going to see Grand Island there. Sweet Home, who's been off to a great start right now. Sweet Home's been that answer. Then it's that 3rd and 14 that we're still trying to figure out. Is it going to be Lockport? Is it going to be Ken West? Right? Who's going to start stepping up in that A division to go after those 3 and 4 spots inside that A North division?
Like I said earlier, there's a big weekend for A South. All of those games, or all those teams, I should say, are playing in league games. Tomorrow night you've got Hamburg hosting Amherst, Jamestown playing at West Seneca West, and you've got Frontier hosting Will East. So all these teams playing divisional games this week should see some movement within the division. And while we're still in the injury timeout, just looking ahead for Williamsville South next week, they will go back home and host Hamburg, one of the teams at the top of the A South division. And we will have that game for you, I believe.
Well, I don't know. We don't know yet, but I'll
I thought
tell
that's
you
what
right
you were
now.
trying to
no, I
signal
meant
to
that's
me.
a game right
Yeah.
there, right? That's a game you better be circling on your calendar as you have a big statement win right now if Will South holds on for this one. And Hamburg, who right now is undefeated, and you said they play Amherst, if I'm correct. So you would think as right now Amherst is the one team struggling a little bit. They've got Teddy McDuffie, who's been running all over the place for Amherst, but they've got to get a little more help with McDuffie right there to try to get some wins for Amherst.
And things don't get any easier for South Park next week, Tom. They are going down to Jamestown next Friday for a matchup with the Red Raiders at Strider Field. So tough spot for the Sparks to be in if they're at 2-2. Going down to Jamestown, that is not a great place to be going into to start the home stretch of the regular season.
But it's a game they've both circled on the calendar. There's no doubt about
Well,
it.
yeah, they won a sectional championship on that field back in May. 1st and 10 here for South. Dewar with another nice run. Gets a first down and puts South inside the South Park 25. But, yeah, like I said, anything can happen out in Jamestown. South Park went down there, beat the Red Raiders in the sectional championship game in the spring, which was technically the fall 2020 season. But things can certainly happen down there. Red Raiders have seemed vulnerable at points this year. Will South almost came back on them late in their Week 2 matchup, ended up losing by 5. But like we said, this A South division, top to bottom, might be the best in all of Western New York, or at least most competitive. 3:45 and running here in the fourth quarter. 1st and 10 for the Billies, who are just looking to close this thing out and get back to 500. Lost the ball on the handoff there, but Dewar able to fall on it. That'll keep the clock running at least for South.
We got some more big games that'll be coming up this weekend. As far as here in Western New York, boy, you want to see that Bennett Orchard Park game. That's going to be a big one in AA, right? Where does Bennett stand, right? They're going to get a chance to prove they're on top of the AAs as Lancaster comes up big last week defensively against Orchard Park. Make a big statement right now. Bennett wants to do the same thing this week.
2nd and 14 for the Billies. That was a loss of 4 on the fumbled snap. Tasca takes the snap, hands it off. Dewar running it to the outside. Now makes a nice cut back in, still on his feet, and he's wrapped down right around the 5. Another nice run for Christian Dewar. And this drive putting a nice bow on what has been a beautiful game this evening played by Williamsville South. Billy's looking to make it back to the postseason. They fell in the semifinals last year of Section 6 playoffs to Jamestown. Missed the playoffs by a game back in 2019. First and goal from the 5. Hands it off. Dewar cuts back to the inside and crosses the plane for another South touchdown. Christian Dewar gets another one, and that might be the final blow the Billies needed. They go up 3 scores with about 2 minutes to play here in the 4th.
Well, I'll tell you, like I said, we talked before the game to Coach Krasansky, and he wanted that one big win that this program really was looking for in the last couple of years. And he is really, I think, going to build off this. This gives this Will South team some huge momentum to go into some more big games that they need to win. And again, you're talking about if you could get a win next week against Hamburg and then have wins over South Park and Hamburg, this could be huge for the Will South program.
Kick from Voyer is good. There's a flag thrown on the far side of the field. We'll see if they just pick it up or if they redo the kick. It looks like they're just going to let it go.
Or they may assess it on the kickoff is what they may do.
But that extends the lead to 23 for the Billies here in the late stages of this one.
So it was an offside penalty as it was. Penalty was declined, and then they're going to go ahead and now kick off. So we've got 2:07 left inside this game. And again, John, we talked about this, a couple times throughout the broadcast, and the key to this game was to us and to both coaches was Will South going to be able to control the clock, be able to slow the game down, be able to have momentum in their hands. They did that multiple times offensively. I thought Nasca comes up big, some big third down conversions that he does with his arm. We've already seen Dewar do it running the ball. But the key really today, this defense has stepped up tremendously with 5 turnovers today. No, 6. Actually,
Six.
the 6
5
turnovers.
interceptions, 6
Sorry.
turnovers.
Yeah, 6 turnovers today. You've got to right now credit this defense coming up huge, and one of the big reasons that they're going to take the victory.
And they've kept their heads in it the whole time, Tom. They never once got comfortable, got cushioned. They felt, safe enough with their lead. They kept their foot on the gas the whole way, and even when South Park battled their way back, cut the deficit to 2 early in the third quarter, Will South stayed with it and ended up pulling away here at the very end.
And it's funny, when it got down to 2, you really felt all that momentum was on the side of South Park. It really was. Like, you're going to go, wow, South Park's going to go down and take this lead. And then what was it? A turnover changed things again. Will South takes advantage of it. We talked about it both times. They have those big turnovers, get great field position. You got to capitalize on it, we said. They did every single time. Big difference in this game right now.
So that'll be 1st and 10 for South Park at their own 21. Comeback doesn't really seem possible at this point, but looking for some good things to pull away from this game on the final drive. We've talked about they've got their sophomore quarterback, Noah Willoughby, who's got all the potential in the world to be a star here in Section 6, but definitely going through some growing pains tonight. As we get a run up the middle here from Fulgham. Nice gain there of about 25. And that's just adding to the stat book for him.
He really, and we, again, I know quarterbacks run a little bit here today, but they've run the ball for 189 yards, South Park.
Yeah, he's got 3 touchdowns.
You got to say, and he's got to have run for about 150 of those yards is what he's run for.
Yes, Pero Fulgham having a great senior season so far. 10 touchdowns through the first 4 games of the season now for South Park. Might get another one before this drive's over. We're going to get a look here for Giovanni Pagan, who's still on his feet, now finally brought down with under 90 seconds left.
Folks, stay with us at the end of this one. We may just go to a quick commercial, but we are going to do post-game interviews on this one, as we are going to interview Coach Krasinski in this one, and we're going to also have a player of the game that we're going to interview down there. So Jake Fyack will be doing our interviews down there. Please stay with us on this one.
Final minute coming up now. 2nd and 3 for South Park. Willoughby looks to throw this time, dialing up another deep shot. He underthrew it, and it's tipped by Thompson and incomplete. Stops the clock at 50 seconds and change. As I said before, Will South will go back home next week. They host Hamburg on Friday night, October 1st at 7 p.m. South Park on the same night will play at Jamestown. Red Raiders and Sparks will kick off from Strider Field.
And that one
right
we
around
will
7.
have.
Yeah,
we
that'll
will
be
have
on
that
Western
game.
New York
I know.
Athletics. That we'll have right here for you on WY Athletics. 3rd and 3, and Willoughby's pass hits the receiver, and it's dropped.
I think that was Fulgham over there.
That'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, that was Fulgham out there on the outside.
That's really the first drop we've seen all day from South Park. Willoughby's certainly been able to sling the rock around, just hasn't connected very many times. 4th and 3 play here, hands it off. Fulgham going to run it up the middle, gets a 1st down, runs a defender into the turf in the process. Stops the clock to move the chains, but that'll bring us up to what could very well be the last play of this one. Clock running again now. South Park lining up just one more time, as are the Billies. Willoughby looks over the middle. That one tipped off the receiver's hands, I should say. Falls incomplete. And we will get another play. The clock stops at 20.8.
And some of these interceptions that Willoughby has thrown have been tipped balls today, too. So that's also happened, and fortunately that's gone against him. We've also had one that went in his favor, if you remember, down towards the towards the end zone.
So 2nd and 10 for South Park. We said just trying to get the last few plays done here, and Will South will head back home with a victory, improving to 2-2. South Park will drop to 2-2 as that pass again off the receiver's hands. And we haven't seen this many drop passes the whole game. Now South Park just can't hold on to one.
And I think a lot of it is thinking about, I've got to get to that end zone, just turning too quick, right? Knowing that I got to try to make something happen as I'm trying to catch the ball.
A 3rd down and 10. Willoughby looking to throw again. That one incomplete to the outside. Was looking for Kelly. That'll bring up 4th.
So this should be the last, oh no, there's a flag right here. A late flag too.
Call is.
Boy, that was really late.
It's just an unsportsmanlike against South Park.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against Sparks.
So it'll back them up 15 yards.
It's 4th and 25 right now is what it is. So, you would think this is going to be the last play for South Park right here.
And this is just one of those times where it doesn't matter which side you're on. You're just thinking, get the ball down, snap it, and let's get out of here. And we won't do that as we get another whistle before the ball's snapped. And now it looks like the guy's ready to play. 4th and 25 for South Park. Dumps it off to Fulgham. He'll be brought down right around midfield. Luke Capola on the tackle there for South Park, and the clock will run out. That'll do it for us here at All High. The Billies knock off the Sparks in a Week 4 Class A matchup, 45-22, to move back to 500 on the season.
So, John, why don't we take a quick break as we're gonna let Jake Fyack get our player of the game out there, as well as get coach so we can do post-game interviews. We're just going to take a quick break as we come back and do those post-game interviews.
Yeah, we'll be right back for post-game. Stay tuned to WY Athletics.
I love being home.
There's nothing better than owning the perfect house to come home. You've earned it, and we'll make it happen. Our local real estate experts and in-house team of financial professionals make buying or selling your home simple. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
I love being home.
Are you in pain from a no-fault car accident? Don't wait. Call RES Physical Medicine and Rehab today and take advantage of our 24 to 48-hour appointment pledge. One of our medical professionals will see you within 48 hours. RES offers DXD imaging for a more accurate diagnosis in less time. This allows our doctors to coordinate the most effective treatment plan to get you on your way to recovery faster. Feel better with RES Physical Medicine and Rehab. Click or call today to learn more.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love being home.
At Kyra First Wellness, your health and well-being is our passion. Let us take care of you and your family like one of our own.
Cairo First Wellness Center is dedicated to providing patients long-term relief and teaching them how to continue taking care of themselves. With a blend of different techniques, services, and personalized treatment plans, we'll help you find wellness in a way that's right for you. Between chiropractic care, spinal decompression, nutritional counseling, massage therapy, custom orthotics, and more, your relief is in our hands. If twisting, popping, and cracking intimidate you, our Pro Adjuster restores the same range of motion as a physical adjustment would with gentle, repeated tapping.
Dr. Mo at Cairo First has been taking care of my back needs for the past 4 years. His staff treats you like family. I've had the traction, I've had the massage done, and every time leave here feeling fresh and brand new.
Cairo First Wellness Center. Your health and well-being, our passion.
Welcome back to WMI Athletics. We're at All High Stadium tonight. Big 45-22 win for Williamsville South football over South Park as the Billies defeat the Sparks to improve to 2-2 on the season. We're going to get post-game reaction from Billies head coach Craig Krasanski right now as he's down on the field with our own Jake Fyak. Jake, what do you got for us down there?
With head coach Craig Krasanski on the win here over South Park on the road. Coach, one of the big adjustments you guys made in the second half was the defensive side of the ball, picking off many interceptions, 2 of them coming back in the end zone for a touchdown. What led to that defense to get great ball hawking skills against Noah Willoughby?
It was just commitment from our guys. I mean, we did that all week. We knew that we could turn them over. I think we had 5 interceptions tonight, 2, as you say, for touchdowns, but it's just our preparation this week was great. Our kids came in on Sunday night to practice, which we usually don't. We got an extra practice in on Sunday, because we played last Friday. So it was just all the kids. Nothing really was done at halftime other than keep competing. Coach Heim did a great job on our game plan, and it was just awesome to see our kids play like that.
Talk about the reaction you guys had along the sidelines. South Park comes creeping back in, down 22-30. They come back on the far left side of the field, and Max Graves just has a beautiful one-handed interception for a pick 6. Just talk about that emotions you and your guys had when that was made.
Again, great. We overcame the adversity. South Park came at us early in the half. Our kids handled it well, I thought. And we were playing a lot more man today because we knew that they screen a lot, and how you defend screens are you man them up. And Max read it, made a great break on the ball, and it was awesome. I agree with you.
So going into the next week, you guys going against Hamburg. Right now they're currently undefeated. They play Amherst tomorrow. What can you take away, like a big takeaway from this game that's going to help you guys go up against Hamburg?
I don't know. I've watched some Hamburg film. They're big and physical. We just go back on Monday and start again. It's just enjoy the weekend, enjoy our day. We don't play a Friday game tomorrow, so enjoy that day off and just prepare again. Our kids been preparing for the last 3 weeks. We didn't really play well opening week, and our kids really picked it up. So I'm proud of our guys.
All right, Coach, thank you for your time. All right, guys, you had Craig Krasanski there, head coach for Will South. Right now, got along with me, Jeremy Thompson, one of the 2 pick 6s in this game. 5 interceptions tonight on the defense. You came to this matchup with only the only 2 interceptions on the team this season. You pick up your third, one taking it to the house. What has been the big key for your ball hawking skills so far this season?
I've been doing this since I was younger, so it's just normal for me. Just normal stuff.
Talk about the defense you guys had. Not only you was getting interceptions, but Max Graves had a big pick 6 as well. Just talk about the chemistry you guys have on defense, and how did that build up in you guys at South Park tonight?
Oh, it's DBU over here. We practice with film, watch film all the time. I just told them I knew what to expect. My boy Max got the pick to the crib. Simple.
Talk about your next matchup, going up against Hamburg. They're currently undefeated, playing Amherst tomorrow. Away from this game is going to help you guys get a big one against Hamburg next week.
Everybody doubted us against Jamestown, now against South Park. It's just normal. We're gonna handle our stuff business. It's just business from now on out. Road to States.
All right, Thompson, thank you for your time. All right, guys. Head Craig Krasansky, Jeremy Thompson, interview with us live here from All High Stadium. Will South defeats South Park on the road. They take on Hamburg next week. John Simon, Tom Prince, back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you very much, Jake. Hearing from Craig Krasansky, Jeremy Thompson, the winning sideline of Williamsville South. As we said, they improved to 2-2 tonight, get back into 500 in league play with a big win over A South Division rival South Park, 45-22. Tom, story of the game, controlled it from the get-go, getting the run game established, and then closed the door, forcing 6 turnovers, with 5 of them coming via interception.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, controlled the ball, interceptions, turnovers, went in the favor of Will South. There's your game right there.
So that'll do it for us here tonight at All High. 45-22, Williamsville South defeats South Park. That'll do it for myself and Tom Prince. Thank you for tuning in. Big thanks to the rest of our crew tonight as well. We will see you guys for more high school sports action, more football coming up tomorrow night, Friday Night Lights. We'll see you then on WNY Athletics.
When you're ready to buy a home, start your search at howardhanna.com. You'll be the first to see new listings, find similar properties, and connect with a local Howard Hanna agent. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
Being home.